What's going on, everyone? It's jeranism and the GLOBEBUSTERS back again. Another Tuesday means another round of ISS as we get to watch them fly around space. Believe it or not, I'm going to go with not. And with me, as always, is Bob, Xanadude60. Bob, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Beautiful day in Denver, and just kind of enjoyed the sunshine today, and watched a few videos, and kind of read up a little bit more on this the sunrise things that's coming up. And TJ also mentioned something about some the moon being in perfect phase. So I was kind of curious to hear what he had to say about that. But other than that, doing good. TJ?
Awesome. TJ, what's going on?
Oh, well, I'm just sitting here looking at this beautiful gold ISS shining in the sun right now as the Earth behind it fades to black. I'm watching the satellite dish just spin around in circles.
So see, what's happening there is the sun is actually bending with refraction around the globe Earth and just lighting up just the ISS, 150
right.
miles above the Earth, you know.
So if you hurry up and go outside, you might see it fly across the sky into the darkness.
Yeah, you better see it right now. And with us always, also, my better half, Missa. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great now that I see my spinning satellite.
All right. Well, I don't see this. They got rid of the spinning satellite.
Yeah. Let's see.
Bob.
Oh, no, I see it. I see it.
Let's see, where you at?
Oh, let's see. I'm right there, and I see the little spinning satellite dish up there.
Oh, it's going dark.
Yep. They always seem to do that. I think they know that we're going to come online, and so they put it in the darkness so we can't make fun of them.
Now scroll down so I can see where it says they're at, just so we can kind of try and watch that.
All right. Let's see. So, yeah, about 20% of the way into the dark.
Just over South America.
Yep. Yep, just over Argentina, it looks like.
Now, I don't know if you guys saw this. Somebody sent me a email today that it's not till 9 o'clock Pacific time, but tonight at 9 p.m. on the SLU channel. You know what SLU is?
No, I never heard of that one.
SLU is some sort of telescope website they have where I remember I signed up one time for a 30-day trial membership and used it for about 15 minutes. But supposedly you can reserve different telescopes for a certain amount of time and actually move them around where you want and things like that. But tonight they're doing the first ever, they're going to watch the ISS with the SLU telescope fly across the sky, and then while that's happening, the ISS is going to be zooming in with some sort of camera apparatus to show the telescope at SLU. So, I mean, you're telling me these things aren't coming up just because of what we're doing?
Yeah, I'm sure they probably are.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Seriously, so they can't zoom into anything else, but they can zoom into this telescope?
It's all bullshit. I want to see it. I'll tell you that much. I don't believe that they can do that without. It's just pre-recorded or pre-done.
It was like two years ago, I think. We went on that site to watch the blood moon. Supposedly, it was supposedly live, but it was horrid. It was like the worst view ever. But I was like excited that I was going to watch it live, but it actually wasn't that exciting. But I think you can watch some things live. I'm not sure.
Now, I've been doing something for most of the day, and I was on timeanddate.com. I was checking out the sun, and I was checking out the moon, looking at all the different locations around the world. And Bob, what I was texting you was that for the current time for the moon, it was at the phase that they said it was at, and it was at the right degree of location that it said it was. So it was, I mean, when I said it was perfect, it was like it was exactly what they said it was supposed to be. And here in about half an hour, for me, the moon is supposed to be setting, so we're not going to see it at night because it's following pretty close to the sun. Now, time and date, if you go there and you look at their, they've got the day and nighttime map, and they have the moonlight world map. If you look at both of those, you'll be able to see how close and the location of where the sun and the moon are. And I see the ISS map has the location of the sun, but it does not have the location of the moon. And I didn't realize that was here on the map. But so when we see the sun for the live video feed, we should be able to see part of the moon at least somewhere, because they're pretty close. But as we know, we don't ever see the moon.
No, and I don't, maybe I'm way off base, but I certainly don't think so. But one of the biggest things to me, and I don't really, every time I put it in a video, all I get is people saying I'm either wrong or I'm not understanding. But the fact that an eclipse happens so quickly in the globe Earth model is completely wrong, because based on the 28 days for the moon to get all the way around the Earth, then how in the hell does an eclipse last an hour? An eclipse should last 3 days. I mean,
Yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense. And I keep saying it, and people keep saying, "What do you mean that an eclipse should last 3 days?" I'm like, well, I'm talking about the amount of time, like this eclipse that we have coming up on the 28th. So, according to the globe Earth model, the Earth is supposed to be getting in the way of the sun, causing a shadow on the moon. Well, if the moon takes 28 days to go all the way around the Earth, then I'm assuming that it should be stuck in the shadow of the Earth for about a day, not for about an hour. It just makes no sense. And same thing with when the moon is crossing the sun and it creates that black shield against the sun, it moves away within 10 minutes. But now keep calculating that out, it means that the moon rotates the Earth in a day. But it should take 28, which means that moon should be blocking the sun for at least a day. Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that actually seems reasonable. I never really thought about that before.
It's like it has to move faster right at that time or something. Hey, Bob, I put a link over there if you want to click it and just view it real quick. I can read it or you can read it.
So I haven't really checked into this, but that's really that's the stated position, is that the moon takes a whole month to go all the way around the Earth?
28 days, yeah.
Because on timeanddate.com, I mean, the moon, it's moving with the sun. They're moving together.
Yeah, well, I mean, think if it was really that we were spinning, then they would about move together in the sky, right? I mean, as far as the amount of time that you would see both of them would be pretty equal. But I mean, you have to think that the Copernican system actually has the moon go counterclockwise, where clearly it goes clockwise.
Uh-huh.
Like completely clearly in our sky, everything we see tells us the moon goes clockwise. But if you believe in the globe, you have to believe that it actually goes west to east. No, I'm sorry.
Does one of you have a radio on?
Yeah, somebody's got some sort of TV on.
Oh,
there we go. Beautiful. Did you get that link, Bob?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I just popped it up. What do I do with it?
Yeah, I didn't know.
I don't know. Let's see. I'll find it.
I was just going to read that. Maybe people could tune. I don't think we'll be on that late, but maybe I'll go live if I'm bored. Oh, well, I won't be. I don't think I'll get to be able to see it anyway because I don't have an account.
Oh, for Slew?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it's free.
Oh, does it say that?
Yeah, it says join SLU for free. Become a member to see the live view of space from SLU's mighty telescopes.
Oh, but I think, does it say join for free?
Special offer of 1 month free.
Yeah, I already did that. I don't think they'll let me do it again. And it
Just
really
type
is
in a
just
different
terrible.
email address.
It is just terrible. I went to try and like reserve the telescope, and they were all booked for like the next month, and it only let you use the telescope for like an hour. You had to book 15 minutes in this hour little block. It's like, what do you guys do? How can you charge people money for that? You're basically giving away 4 slots. Pretty terrible. So scroll
Yeah.
down a little bit. I'll just read that. So what does it say? So tonight during the show, SLU hosts will be joined by NASA experts on manned space flights who will discuss the future of space exploration, the motivation behind Scott Kelly's mission, blah, 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 blah. During the show, we will have the first ever live broadcast of the ISS as it passes overhead, and NASA will provide a live video feed from ISS looking down on Earth. Join us September 15th. Now, Bob, you told me that you couldn't even get your telescope to latch onto the ISS, right?
No, I mean, it's what I can see it pass over with my naked eye, obviously, but trying to get the Meade LX200 to actually lock onto it or to track it is almost impossible because it's moving so quickly across the sky.
Right.
So you would have to do it manually because you can't do it with the telescope motors. And of course, trying to do it manually, you'd either have to have a hand like steady as a rock or, be part Android or something. I don't know.
I wonder how they're going to do it tonight. I don't know.
Maybe they have a different stepping motor system than I do in mine. But mine is well, like most of them, it's calibrated for super fine steps.
Well, I want to see it really be live, so I want you to go outside with that laser, Bob, and shine it at the ISS when it's going across. And I'll be
Shoot it
here,
down.
and I'll tell you if I see that laser.
There you go. And now I could zoom into it with the camera.
There you, oh gosh, you should try that.
Maybe they'll complain about like someone blinded us. Then we're like, well, maybe it is real then.
Yeah, it'd be real only to the plane that's flying over, but
Maybe you'll
Yeah.
see it reflecting off of their Earth screen.
So anyway, we'll see. That's supposed to be tonight at 9, I guess.
oh, now I find the other one. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty much in the dark, it looks like, for about another, I don't know, half hour or so. So maybe TJ wanted to see if we can find a pre-recorded one.
Yeah, TJ.
Okay, let's see what we can find.
Okay, sounds good. So I wanted to also mention today that I was reading the comments about last night's show, and there was one guy that was saying that, oh no, the shuttles absolutely can glide, and of course he produced a video of the Columbia on pre any of its flights, and it's interesting because when you watch this video, it doesn't have any rocket apparatus or anything like that on the back of it. It's just got some like aerodynamic cowling on the back, and it's obviously completely gutted, no weight in it whatsoever, and it's on the back of the 747. And then it just separates and it kind of floats up, and it's got the chase planes that are all around it and stuff. And it floats down. I think it goes like 30 minutes and just a few minutes, or 30 miles, excuse me, in just a few minutes, and then touches down in the
Does it
middle
do
of.
like a little spiral too, like a little consecutive 360s? I don't know. That's what
well-
I've seen the shuttle do. Is that's the way it slows down? Is
Yeah.
it'll do like 360s in the air.
Well, it was going pretty slow anyway, and the reason I can tell that is because the chase planes were flying next to it, and they actually had to drop their gear, I guess, to increase the drag and slow them down a little bit. So that was kind of odd. But the thing that really struck me as ridiculous was, they didn't land it on any runway. What they landed it on was this large, miles and miles and miles of just dirt. I don't know, like desert or something like that. And of course, if you understand anything about how airports are constructed, you know that runways are anywhere from like 3 to 10 feet thick, depending on whether it's civil or commercial aircraft. And the reason that the runways are so thick is because not only do they have to support the fantastic weight of the jets that land on them, but they also have to be able to survive the impact of touchdown. So, you know, when I'm watching the shuttle land, it lands on the dirt, kicks up dust everywhere, rolls out, has no problem at all, and that immediately told me that they had that thing completely gutted out, because there is no way that would have not have either, you know, ripped up the ground when it, you know, hit for touchdown. And then, of course, it rolled out, and it would have, you know, probably sunk. I mean, you've probably seen 18-wheelers. They'll have that problem. They have to be very careful where they pull off to the side of the road, or the tractors will actually sink into the ground. So to have something as big as the space shuttle and as heavy as it's supposed to be, just, you know, touching down out there in the middle of the desert somewhere on the dirt, especially with the dirt as loose as it is and flying all over the place, and not sink or snap off the landing gear, just struck me as, oh man, they've got that thing completely gutted. And so,
wasn't that like the practice flight anyway, or the test landing?
Well, that was the test. It was the test glide, and they said, oh, this is the first time this has ever been attempted. You know, when they separated off the 747, and clearly it didn't have any engines on it, because the back part where all the rocket apparatus would have been was all you know, cowled in very nicely, which also would have assisted it, you know, aerodynamically as far as its glide. So anyway, the guy said, and I don't think he was a troll or anything like that. He was just trying to say, you know, we need to be very careful about what we say about this, because I had expressed extreme doubt last night that anybody could land a space shuttle dead stick with that much weight on a runway, even if it's 7 miles long, you know, and hit it precise every single time without, you know, some sort of jet assistance. So I wrote a fairly long rebuttal, and I basically explained just what I just said to you guys now about, you know, how that was obviously done to, you know, show that, oh yeah, it can glide in and it can act like a glider. But yeah, it can act like a glider if it's absolutely gutted out in a shell, and even then it had an incredibly low glide ratio to it. So it came down really, really fast. So again, I still maintain that there is just no way that they're making these landings in the shuttle dead stick. It's just just a little bit too superhuman, and even if they are the best pilots in the world, I'm still not buying it.
Yeah, I don't buy it. Right after, in one of my recent videos, I don't remember exactly where, but I showed that they have it coming in. It looks like a model, and it never puts out its landing gear. And then all of a sudden, pop, there goes the landing gear. But you just see the scene change, and the landing gear's down as it lands. But it's completely fabricated, the whole thing.
Right. Well, you know, the landing gear is something that typically they don't put down. Whoa, am I doing that? I'm looking at okay. Anyway, the landing gear is something that they don't usually put down till, you know, within a few minutes of landing anyway. And I would imagine that, you know,
well, I'll try and bring up this video because I'll show you what I'm talking about. It is literally, they've got 20 seconds to land, 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's kind of a little close.
Hey, TJ, yep. I'm over in the ISS live or the videos. Go over there. I want you to see something. It's the most flat Earth I've ever seen the ISS show.
All right, hold on 1 second. I want Bob to take a look at this.
Okay.
Are these those same things, or is this something different than those microwave things you were talking about before?
What is below it? That's Earth. It looks like a tarp.
Earth, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Are we talking about these lights? These things? Oh, yeah. Huh. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly right. It looks like these are microwave antennas, except...
watch the one on the right. Look at that hotspot. Watch how it grows.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what's causing that. But, yeah, you can see the...
I think it's melting away.
Yeah, you can see the cabling, again, open wiring, which is just ridiculous. Going to these little microwave transmission elements. But yeah, and you can almost see like the BNC connectors and stuff like that on them also. And again, putting these in scale and understanding how small a little BNC connector is, you know, you have this type of resolution on these things, and then you kind of imagine the scale of these compared to the rest of the ISS, and it tells you it's got to be a model. Because you certainly would not be able to see this level of detail, I would think, unless it was just a model.
Oh boy, I happened to pass by YouTube doing something, and I see a Dave Johnson video that says 7 code. Listen, Jerry Schism and copy print shop man claiming
that's the
sevens. What the hell, man?
That's the one I was telling you about from last night. He was trying to chat but couldn't.
The funniest thing was when the Jungle Surfer guy said, "All right, I'm looking at your videos here, Jaren. There's a 7. Oh boy, Jaren, a 7." I'm like, dude, that's episode number 7.
Wait till we get to 13.
Do I skip 7 next time? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Remind me when we get to ISS Live episode 7, we got to skip it. We go 6 to 8.
Yeah.
13. Skip 13.
And skip 13 and 11.
Well, and number 9. Number 9.
Oh, you got 9. Actually, we should skip 6 too.
Yeah.
Let's go 5, 8, 10, 12. No, you can't do 12.
No, can't do 12.
Maybe we should start just naming them letters.
And they also say I'm doing colors. The colors. You got to watch out for the colors.
Right, because you're using the reds and the blues.
Yeah. You should be using, I guess, magenta and lime green or.
And you need to make sure you control the commercials YouTube puts on your channel.
Yeah.
I know.
Because you're allowing all that symbolism on your channel. What you want to be?
So go to. Oh, right there. It's the one that says just a highlight. See it right there? Click that highlight. Watch this. You're gonna love it. It's the most flat Earth I've ever seen the ISS show. They're finally showing the truth.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God! Look how flat it is. Wow. This must be over the salt flats, huh?
Drop after it too.
Now, kind of what I was explaining yesterday that I don't understand is see how there's a tiny bit of an arch there?
Yeah.
If there even is one, because I think sometimes that can be our eyes. But if that is an arch there, if you imagine that continuing, if we were to keep turning to our right and to our left, how would that ever fix itself? Meaning, is it just going to be a circle? So that's what I mean by like I almost feel like they're pulling the flat Earth up and looking at it, because this would just be a circle around you, like sitting above the disk of the Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not at all like what would happen on a ball. Where a ball, you would be able to go up and see over the edge, not just a curvature. A curvature would happen like that if you were above the circle of the Earth.
Right. Right. Absolutely true.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it is. Pretty flat too.
And this is clouds, so I guess it could be flat on top, but if there really is this curve, we should be seeing this curve in the clouds, not. And that's why I say so many times, like, the only place people look for curve is on the edge. Let's look at the edge of space, or let's look at the edge of the horizon, and that's the only place we can find curve in one direction from side to side. I mean, this
makes no sense.
At the ISS, this is probably, I don't know, this could be like 100 miles or 50 miles out. And, I mean, 50 miles out, 60 miles out, there you have thousands of feet of curve. So we should definitely see some type of curve in that direction. Because as the Globers always tell us, that you have to take into account your height and elevation. You have to take into account the height of elevation of the object you're looking at, because the higher you go, the further over the curve you see, and the higher the object over the curve, that you'll be able to see at least tops of the part of it. So if we see over the curve, why can't we ever see the curve?
Yeah, that's That's true. Well, it's kind of like think about being at the top of a hill, and then just stepping back. When you're at the plateau on the top of that hill, and trying to see down at what's at the bottom of the hill. You can't. All you see is the hill drop away, and you don't see anything beyond that. Beyond pretty much where it starts falling away.
Right,
So,
but as you get higher and you start seeing further over the hill, you start seeing over the hill. You start
yeah,
to
you would
see
see.
the other side,
Right.
which I understand. Like when you're lower to the ground, your horizon and what you're seeing is it's not too far out. But as you get higher, then you're seeing over of the hill. You're seeing more.
Yeah, it'd be basically like standing on top of a dome.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the problem is trying to do experiments with this stuff is we don't have a curve to really do an experiment with.
Well, that's not even. It's not even how a ball would work. So there is no experiment. I mean, for instance, how would the sun on the other side of this view be lighting the ISS? It does. It's not. It's not even. It doesn't even make sense. It's impossible because it's basically what they're showing here is like the Earth is a flat disk that has another side or is operating on a conveyor belt.
All right, I want to. Let's see. We're at 3. Let me see something here.
By the way, I noticed Steve Blakey was in the chat, and of course Steve Blakey was the guy that came up with that magnificent video of the undisputable proof of the Russian moon landing in 1950, whatever it was.
Oh, God.
I still love that video. It's just the best. The moon, for fuck's sake. Can't believe it. That is such an unbelievably funny video. So if you're still out there, Steve, great job on that. So it almost looks to me if we took a straight edge and went right across there, that thing would be just about perfectly straight.
Yeah,
I'm
they
wondering.
do have a little bit of a curve on this, at least over on this side.
Yeah, if I was a globe earther, I would say there's a curve there for sure.
Because now I can't do this on full view because I don't know how, but
You don't have the little.
But again,
see, I can do
just-
this, and you can see there is a tiny bit of a drop.
okay, but
on this
again,
one side.
that doesn't matter if there's a drop because that is a circle. It's not a globe.
Right.
So all it is a circle. So, I mean, if we're saying that there's a drop, well, there would also be a curve if they were flying above the flat Earth. There wouldn't be no curve. We're not saying it's well, I guess some people are saying it's a never-ending plane or whatever, but still, no matter what, your eyes still have a limit to how far they can see. We know that. Even at a certain height, we know that even in an airplane, I think your view is only 350 miles, even at 35,000 feet. So, and I forgot, what is the math for that? It's, I'll find that. But, I mean, you could figure out what it would be at 150K, too.
Are you talking about the 8 inches per mile squared?
No, that's for the horizon, but there's one for...
How many feet up?
Yeah, I had it in one of my early videos. It's
How many feet is it? 35,000?
Yeah. Isn't it 1.24 times...
So the horizon would be 230 miles for 35,000.
Correct. Good. So what is it for 150 miles high? What is the formula you're using?
I don't know. I have to go look it up. I grabbed it from...
That'd be 792,000 feet, TJ.
I grabbed it from that calculator. So it says it's 1,100 miles.
Oh, wow.
That would
See,
be the
even
horizon.
that's not very much.
Well, that's 1,100 miles. That's about from Philadelphia area to Kansas City.
Right. So what I'm saying is the ISS, even when you're that high, your limit of your eyesight's going to run out, and it would have to run out in a curve. It couldn't run out to a flat edge. How would it do that? Then you would, based on that, you would have to say that it goes flat edge all the way out both sides. But we know our eyes don't work that way. Our eyes have to bring things into our perspective, right? If you just look ahead right now, straight in front of you, sure, we can almost see 180 degrees, but the things to your right and left kind of come in like a circle to your eyesight.
Mm-hmm. And that would be 1,100 miles is 149 miles of curve.
That's,
just
that's
in
a
that
bunch.
distance. Jeez.
Yeah.
Now that's where you just get, then you're just out of whack.
All right. Well, let's see what we got going
Hey,
on.
so
in the
Bob,
chat.
here's my my fast and easy proof of whether it's a flat Earth or a globe. Super simple. It just needs you and me and an airplane. And we fly the Tropic of Capricorn, and then we fly the Tropic of Cancer. And if one is double the size of the other, it's flat. If they're both the identical distance, it's a globe.
Okay, let me think about that for a minute, unless you want to elaborate on it.
Well, because on a globe, the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer are the same exact size.
Right.
They go around the globe both at the same distance away from the equator. But on a flat Earth, the inside track is significantly shorter than the one on the outside of the equator.
Oh, of course. Yes. Yes. You're right.
So all we need is somebody who has a plane who wants to come pick me up in Salinas. You can just land right here on my street. Really easy. And let's go for a little ride.
That's very good.
How many times would you have to stop on that trip, Bob?
Oh, well, that depends. I mean, you know.
Well, we're not going to get a 747, my guess is.
No, I'm not. I am not turbojet rated. So
I trust you.
The best we could do would be a multi-engine, I don't know, Cessna or something like that, just a twin-engine plane. But depending on where you took off from, and depending, of course, on the range of the plane, that would be, you know, we could probably, well, if you're going to fly all the way around it, that would be a lot. You'd have to stop many times. And honestly, I haven't even looked at that route, but...
Oh, I guess you're saying like we could just do half of it even.
Yeah, that would be really pressing it on the range of the tanks, I would imagine. Now, what are those things?
That's a close-up of the cables.
Are they not live yet?
No.
No, there's about a 30-second delay, I think. Yeah.
These are all close-ups of the cables.
Yeah, it
That
says
was
we need an SR-71, somebody in the chat. That's right, we would. That would be handy.
Yeah, I would like to do it on a boat, but I mean, the thing, you can't navigate the Tropic of Capricorn.
What is that arrow pointing toward? It's this is where something goes. This
Yes.
arrow.
That's where something goes. That's... So, yeah, I guess they're actually twisting this thing around.
Good thing they got these sunproof stickers, because I don't know what they would do without them.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure somebody's going to respond. It's not a sticker, it's paint. But
Oh,
still.
it's sunproof paint. Oh, that's
Yes.
possible.
We gotta find out what paint they use to stick on our houses, so that way they won't peel off.
Yeah.
That's expensive paint. Only Elon Musk gets that kind of access.
Now, but these, like this right here on the handle, these look like almost like labels or something, like label stickers.
Yeah, they really do. And it looks like there's like some sort of a barcode in the middle of the white thing down here with the two stickers. But again, that looks like a box. Like they just stuck a box, they wrapped it in some sort of white
No, I
wrapping
think
paper.
they just
Open
went
it.
through the Barney bag, and they sang that song, and they grabbed all the stuff out of the bag, and let's make a spaceship. and
Yeah,
they
it's
just
like
put a bunch of
gonna open it
yarn
up
and
for
stickers.
Christmas.
Yeah. And you'd think these handles would be a lot bigger, if the astronauts had to grab stuff and, pick them up. That's
Yeah, especially
assuming.
with their gloves. I think these handles are for when they're out there to hold on to so they don't float away and hit the Earth.
Yeah, that's it. Those are to anchor the tool bags onto,
Yeah.
so they don't drop down and
boy.
fall. Oh, by the way, also I wanted to make one other correction because I know somebody eventually is going to pick on it from last night's video. But when we were talking about the possibility of hydrogen or helium being a stabilizing element, like in the nose of the rockets, and we were talking about when it exploded, I kept using the term helium instead of hydrogen. And yes, I know helium is not flammable. Therefore, let's change that to hydrogen, kind of like the old dirigibles, the Zeppelins and stuff. And that would make a little more sense as far as an explosion. But yes, it occurred to me, and I was listening to that today. And it's like, wait a minute, I was saying helium, and I meant to say hydrogen. So before anybody crucifies me on that, I'm officially making that correction right here and now.
Duly noted.
Yes.
And I learned something. I didn't know that. Maybe that's a comment I should keep to myself, but I didn't know that helium wasn't flammable.
No, that's
But I have
something.
seen some pretty crazy explosions in people's homes when balloons get too close to birthday cake candles.
Oh, really? Well, you look it up, and it says that it's not flammable, and you would think
Well, it's
that,
not flammable, but if you look at the accident that happened, I'll bring it up right now. But if you look at the SpaceX disaster, that thing didn't inflame. It like poof. I don't know how you even describe it. It's not. I mean, it's not an explosion, so it's not a flammable.
It
yeah,
antimattered. I
yeah,
think it just antimattered.
antimatter. That's it. But yeah, so hydrogen would definitely make a big bang, though. That's for sure.
It would be like a fireball.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, this wasn't a fireball. This is
Wow.
more of a. I'll show it right here. I'll bring it up and send it to you.
Pressure thing.
Yeah, it just looks like a. I don't know. I've seen a couple different videos because they're actually kind of funny when people have the candles accidentally get in the way of the balloons and everybody's got
There's like really, really pressure and then just explodes. That's what happens with the balloons.
Yeah,
yummy.
Oh, looks like we have some video back on. It's still dark, though. It'll be coming out in about 10 minutes over Asia.
We'll be heading towards the sun.
Yep.
Or as the Brotherhood say, heading east, seeking illumination.
So they go right towards the sun. Okay. Bob, I dropped that link there for you.
Oh, okay.
It kind of looks like one link, but it's many.
Babe, did
Yeah,
you
it's
talk
really-
about the India launch where we totally saw the flat moon, like kind of ish, with the little balloon launch?
Not India.
Oh, that wasn't India. Sorry, it was in Argentina. Wait, no, Denmark. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do a video on that.
Do a video on that.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Sorry, guys.
No, there's a guy sent me a video that they did live from Denmark the other day, September 2nd or something, and I guess some people got wind of it and it got canceled, but then people got upset, so the military came in and moved the balloon launch onto military property, and they went ahead and did the live stream anyway, but they had to try and block out the moon, and I actually have footage of them blocking out what's clearly the moon, and the reason they're blocking it out is because the moon is on the other side of the Earth. But I'm doing a video on that, so
Okay, so do you have my screen up?
I'll bring it up right now.
All right, I'll start it over then.
Hello?
Hello?
I don't know what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Put it into everyone. All right, there you go. Now you can watch it. But watch when this thing blows up. It clearly is not a fireball.
Yeah, this is. Look at that. How does that thing stay so absolutely, stable, vertical, and
I know. And I got another email from somebody else who said, "Stop saying the launches are fake because this person lives in Florida and watches the launches all the time." And
Look how flat
like,
that horizon
all
was.
right. Mrs. said the same thing. None of this looks. Maybe I need to go watch one, which I don't want to see. Oh, by the way, regarding the decibel level, a Saturn V launch is 220 decibels, and a monster truck is about 105.
yeah.
So I cannot imagine anything being twice as loud as a monster truck. It's not. It's unreal.
Well, that's why I said I don't know. I read today it was like 205 or something like that. But anyway, it's over 200 decibels. And even at a couple miles away, there's no way that you're going to be able to be in the crowd having a casual conversation, because they would probably be on the order of somewhere between 120 to 140 decibels. Like being at a rock concert, pretty much.
No.
Yeah. Now here it comes here in a second.
Oops. Sorry. I'm clicking wrong things.
And you'll see it almost puts out the fire, if anything.
Yeah, there it goes. That amazes me. Oh yeah, well it's got to go vertical, and so what's their reasoning for it then going down? Because they say that the reason it levels out and goes horizontal is it has to build up speed, but that doesn't explain why now it's actually heading back down towards the ground.
There's evidence all the time. They don't ever leave the Earth going 25,000 miles per hour.
No.
It's between 12 and 17.
That thing should be glowing red hot. I mean, beyond red hot at the hypersonic speeds. Now, I also never saw that thing actually cross the supersonic barrier. Did you?
No, but right here it's about to crash into the dome.
Yeah.
That could be helium.
Yeah, because it's not really exploding into a fireball, is it?
No. Now there goes all those kids' science experiments.
That's so sad.
All the kids that spent 2 years in high school building science experiments to go to space. That's how NASA gets rid of them.
Oh, sorry, kids.
And then what they did, they just sent up like a tinfoil can, and then they all split the $500 million that the supposed rocket cost.
Right. Did you see the little parachute or whatever it was pop off of this thing? Right
Fly
when it
backwards.
blows? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I saw it when it
There
first
it is.
exploded.
Right there. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
that right through the smoke.
Interesting. Boy, and it just absolutely vaporized, didn't it?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if there's anything inside that thing, like it's supposed to be taking a bunch of supplies to the ISS, they wouldn't dissipate like that.
No, they wouldn't all burn the same.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Yes. Okay. So what do we got here? We got a blue screen. I got
a temporary
Yeah, live.
7-day subscription to newspapers.com. I was having all kinds of fun this morning just searching Apollo 11 and reading all the newspapers from the day after. And people were pretty cool back then because they asked a lot of people on the street and stuff, what'd you think of it? And they said, I don't know, I'm indifferent about it. I guess we should have been spending our money on a lot more important things than space. I'm like, yes, there was some people with a good mind back then.
Exactly.
And then something else I saw at the very bottom of the paper, in a little tiny box, Apollo 11 is spread out on the whole thing, and in a little tiny box it says, Martin Luther King's brother found dead in his swimming pool this morning. I never knew that was on the same day as Apollo 11 landed, and they say he died from accidental drowning, which happens a lot to people who swim in pools.
Oh yeah, all the time. That's amazing. So, all right, let's see what we got in the chat here.
Well, Insanity said that helium burns red. So I was asking him where he got that from.
It burns red?
Uh-huh.
Well, it must be that, I mean,
well, then
because
what
when
would...
I looked it up today, it said it wasn't flammable, so maybe it is at some point when it gets hot enough. I don't know.
Well, what would somebody say that explosion was? Like in Globe Earther talk.
Well, or any Earther talk. I mean, it looked like a great big cloud just of white smoke. And it wasn't even smoke, it didn't look like. It almost looked like,
Almost
I
like
don't know,
steam or
CO2
something.
or steam or something like
Yeah, I mean, we know it wasn't thermite.
that. No, no thermite. And yeah, they're of course well into the light now. They are over land, so oddly enough, oh gee, we're changing cameras or we don't have a view. Both feeds are down.
So Insanity said he Googled it and it burns red orange.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, and that's saying that it even burned. Of course, I'm not, I don't know a lot about chemistry, so yeah.
Holy smokes! It does burn red orange. Let me show you a video.
Really?
I just saw one. This is funny. This is why you don't have helium around your balloons. It's just a 12-second clip. Again, I dropped it there. It's looks like one link. It's not.
I got it.
Yeah, watch these guys. He's definitely right, though. Red orange is the answer. Like, let's smash eggs on his head.
Oh my God.
Man, they had a torch on that cake.
Whoa.
God, I had to see that again.
That's definitely red orange. He's thinking about it at first till they start smashing eggs in his head.
They made him hold the cake and the balloons.
And then they start smashing eggs in his face, and he's like,
Okay, so there it is. It's
You're like, ah, ha, 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 ha. Let's see who laughs now.
oh boy.
oh man.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
That took out every balloon, too.
Yeah, that was not pretty. So much for it not being flammable.
Yeah, that's crazy because you go out and you wiki it and it says it's not flammable. So I'm like going, Very strange. Well, apparently that's another one of those things. There's mixed schools of thought on either that or there's some other impurity in there.
Yeah, did you ever look up and read about the helium reserves?
Oh no, I know. Yeah, that's right. You asked me to do that, but
Well, no, it was just impressive that basically NASA has stolen the entire world supply of helium and stockpiled it, and now I think within 50 years, the entire world will be out of helium.
What does NASA need that for? They're not giving balloons out to children that I know of.
Well, they do use it in their launches. I don't know what for, but...
Yeah, exactly. They must need it for all their rockets.
Yeah, they needed to help hold up the ISS.
I told you, I'm not putting that past them.
I can't believe these feeds are offline.
I know. We get the daylight and it's like off.
Yeah, off, exactly. And it's showing, the night feed is there with a bunch of static and stuff, but it's online. And now, at the second it comes into daylight, it goes to, this screen. It's just ridiculous.
Oh, get this. I'll read you the reason for the explosion on the SpaceX rocket we just saw. It says, during the CRS-7 failure investigation conference, Elon Musk said, SpaceX believes the Falcon 9 disintegrated after a small steel band, or strut, purchased from a subcontractor, snapped under pressure. The investigation's preliminary conclusions point to the 2-foot-long strut that was holding down one of the many helium bottles on the rocket's second stage where the explosion occurred.
Man.
I got it right.
Look at that. You're a lot smarter than they give you credit for.
Okay,
they don't give me any credit, so.
All right, then I guess I'm going to have to retract my retraction then.
Yeah, you don't retract things so willy-nilly out there.
Like, jeez, Bob.
Making us look bad.
I know, damn me.
Wait for somebody to come forward and tell us how wrong we are. Then we retract.
We can watch some ISS inside for a little bit.
Where?
Okay.
This was from 5 days ago.
Oh, I'll switch over. I hit mute to talk to you. Bob, tell me what you know about lodestones.
What do I know about lodestones? I don't know. Not a lot. Why?
Yeah, me neither. Well, I was reading about Galileo this morning, and I saw that he sold a lodestone to somebody, some rich king or something, but it said that this 35-ounce lodestone could hold 75 ounces. So I couldn't comprehend what that means.
Wasn't a lodestone like magnetite?
Yeah.
Cammy would know more about that than me.
Who?
But Cammy, she's a gemologist.
Oh yeah, I don't understand lodestones at all, but I started thinking maybe that's what's going on in these ISS things, like if they are, if basically a lodestone works as a double magnet, basically like 2 times as powerful. Oh, stop it with your stupid little pirouettes. Can't stand it. This guy I can't stand.
What is he doing? Drinking?
I don't know. They do nothing.
Yeah, they really do.
They
So-
absolutely make no contribution to the human race at all, and people call them heroes simply because they're jackasses who are floating around way too high up on the earth than they should be.
Yeah. That's just.
So I watched a bunch of ISS videos, and I was watching Hollywood videos of them in making people float in space. I really think that these guys spend a bunch of time on wires.
Well, Jaron had an interesting thought on it, and he was talking about what's the possibility of those suits or the harnesses having magnets all around them, with say the North Pole to the outside, and then possibly having the whole of the corridor also having like north poles in it, and having them repel each other like they were like neodymium magnets, really strong magnets, to assist in the weightlessness effect. And I thought about that, and that seems viable. The only thing that I thought that might be a possibility or a problem is that it would seem like if they came across certain node points on the magnetic field, it might tend to kind of jerk them around a little bit. But we see that, so maybe
we do see it, and they're always holding that little foot pedal down below. And the thing that makes me see it most of all is when they hold their knees and do that little spin. Like they hold their knees and go into like a little spin. Well, it reminds me of that video you showed us of the perpetual motion magnetic toilet paper roll. The guy who puts the positive magnets all facing the inside and then can move a ball bearing.
Right.
Kind of the same kind of thing.
Oh, we're finally back online.
Hey!
Hey!
Lodestone is a variety of magnetite. Is that
Yes,
the word?
magnetite. That's correct.
A variety of magnetite that possesses magnetic polarity and attracts iron. A piece of this serving as a magnet, something that attracts strongly. Well, I guess there's some that can hold more than their own weight, which I didn't think was possible anyway, but unless you're an ant, of course.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I'm live.
Let me go over there. Yay! That doesn't move like a globe at all.
Yeah, that's really weird because it almost looks like it's. And again, I don't see any clouds.
Oh, this is totally new. They've never moved the clouds like that.
Nope.
The clouds moving is completely brand new. They are jackasses. Why would they do that? It's even worse for them because I've got so much video evidence of the clouds not moving. So how could they be moving? They should have just left it alone. Man.
I have a feeling somebody's watching.
You actually see that little white cloud there moving. It's like morphing. They've never done that before.
Isn't that amazing?
Now they're trying to morph the cloud. Yeah, now, do you see the clouds moving? I'm not losing my mind, right? They're kind of like twitching now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's video, like jitter, or because if you look at the
They're not moving how they would move. in real life. They're like back and forth, little twitch.
Yeah, no, I almost think that that's some sort of like video jitter because if you look at Mr. Hanky module there,
Yeah.
up at the top here,
Oh, he's moving too. Okay, I
exactly,
see.
and you got jitter back here.
Well, it's
So
just a bad
Yeah,
feed.
yeah, the video's jittering a little bit.
They're not that cool.
Is yours look any better, TJ?
Do we have the same feed?
Same
I've got
picture,
both
yeah.
feeds up. I can go back and forth. Here. I'll go to the HD one.
What is that? What is on the ground right there? That's clouds?
Are you talking about on my feed, the white? Oops.
There's
Whatever
like,
straight ahead at 6 o'clock. It's a disaster.
Mm, I don't know. It looks like pretty much like their normal fake shit to me.
Yeah, it just almost looks like cellophane or like a
Are-
tarp
are you
more
talking
than
about?
usual.
You're not talking about like this gray thing, are you? Like in the middle of the screen right now?
No, I'm talking about in Bob's feed,
Oh,
the one that's it's gone now. It was like little,
oh.
looked like somebody had carved
Oh,
it up with a knife. Oh, don't tell me.
yeah, the Earth just stopped. That's okay. I can flip over to the other one.
I felt it. I fell off my chair right now.
Yep. Here we go back to the Mr. Hanky feed. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see what we have in the
And in
chat.
case we were also taught wrong when we were taught 3/4 of the Earth is covered in water. It's actually 98.7% of the Earth is covered in water.
Yeah, according to the ISS, no doubt about that, huh? Let's see. Bull cap shit, CGI.
So they're gonna. How are they gonna show them zoom in on SLU? This is hilarious. I gotta. I can't even imagine what kind of. They're gonna flip to some super view like we've never seen before, and
Oh,
it's gonna be such a.
they brought the Hubble in for some repair, so they're just gonna connect that and have that zoom down.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So as far as for the guys out in the chat that are seeing the kind of jittery feed, somebody said, "Is that an incremental movement?" Scott 6794, like a winding watch. The incremental movement, or what you're seeing, is actually, I think, just poor upload speed on my internet connection, because I've noticed that I see it fine, but then when it's rebroadcast over YouTube on the via the Google Hangout, it really tends to slow it way down. And fortunately, I will be getting a new internet provider with much better upload speed here probably within the next couple of weeks. So hopefully that'll help that
TJ's
out.
looks a little better.
Does it? Isn't as jittery?
Now he took it off the screen. Go back to the other view, TJ. It was actually a little better. Were you not on, like, you look like you were, yeah, like that.
I was on Bob's view. I mean, I was looking at Bob's through the Hangout.
Whoa!
So this is the ISS feed, and what I was just watching Bob. So you're watching.
I still see the morphing clouds.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't see any clouds morphing.
Well, when I go back to my other screen and look at the actual feed, it's not doing that. It's just on the Google Hangout
Yeah.
YouTube special.
I would recommend that if people out in the chat, to get a better picture of this, is just bring up another window, Google Live ISS HD feed or ISS viewing experiment. There's a lower.
You could just
Yeah,
Ustream ISS.
right. Yeah, it comes right up, and then that way you can just kind of look at it through a separate window, and you don't get the crappy refeed that you're getting from us on this channel. And then you can just listen to the audio at the same time. But yeah, it's amazing. The curvature is phony. You can see it superimposed. Yes, you can, Johnny Blade.
Absolutely. It's not how a ball would act. It's as if It's as if you're at the bottom of an orange and you're twisting the orange left to right in your hand, but that can't be what the ISS is the thing flying. The
Yep.
Earth isn't even spinning. We shouldn't see the Earth spinning.
Yeah. So M. Malone says it looks like a cartoon, for crying out loud. Yeah, it does. I'm curious, M. Malone, are you the Max Malone that Mark Sargent refers to by any chance? And then let's see. Who else says that R2D2 is how they send supplies to the ISS? Exceptional perception. That's good. Their NASA's KC-135 aircraft zero-G trick.
This is so gross.
You can use their new Maxwell smart magnifying glass, or the cone of silence. That's great.
And you said that was at 9 o'clock
Unacceptable.
Pacific?
I'm sorry, TJ?
Did you say that was 9 o'clock Pacific they're doing that?
Yeah, that's what I thought I saw.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Michael McAllister. Malone, not Malone. All right. I didn't know how it was spelled. I just, heard, in the Mark Sargent video when he says, I want to give credit, thanks to Max Malone, who has a knack for boiling things down to a simple observation or something like that. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. So, just curious.
I think isn't that the guy that does the presentation up at the podium?
Who?
I don't know if you've ever seen. There's a guy who does a flat Earth presentation at a podium at some recent event. Does a really good job. Has a big blow up globe with him.
Is he the one that actually drinks some of the aluminum?
Yes.
I don't know. Is that his name? Because I have seen that video. I didn't realize that.
The only reason I think that is because I think whoever that guy is is the one that told Mark Sargent about the Southern Plain issue.
Yeah, well, he did mention that he had worked with Mark Sargent, but it was interesting because first he started talking about the chemtrails, right? And
right.
About the aluminum content in them, and saying, well, it's not really that bad, and he takes a big drink of it. And then, towards the latter part of the presentation, he starts moving into the flat Earth material, and boy, he starts taking some massive flack from the audience.
Absolutely, he does.
Is that the one that says like flat Earth chemtrails, and the guy is at a podium with the screen behind him?
Yep.
Where have you been for the last 5 minutes? Oh, sorry.
I think he dropped off like he did yesterday. Yeah, when that happened, TJ, we didn't even know you were gone. And then you come back. I'm back.
Hey, I do have a question about. There was a guy who contacted me from Facebook, and he is going on a flight, which he says he's done many times in his life. And get this is the one thing about it that I said, are you kidding me? So he's going from Auckland, New Zealand to Santiago, Chile. So from Australia over to South America. And he's done it, he said, 10 times in his life. It's a nonstop flight. Said it's about 15, 16 hours or whatever. But he says they don't allow you to open the windows. Can you imagine that? And I said, what? Ever? He said, no. He said, because people are trying to sleep on that flight, so they don't allow you to open the windows. And he says, if somebody does, the stewardess will be there in 3 seconds and tell him to shut it. So that's interesting. Now, here's the other thing. So he asked me if there's any kind of tests that he can do on the plane. He wants to do a test for me while he flies there. Now, does this make sense if I told him I just want him to bring a compass and every 15 minutes write down exactly what the compass says? Because then I can track that with what the actual flight should be.
It might work, but
or if you have a better idea, please let me know.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because and I don't know because I've never tried to do this, but it almost seems to me that there might be a lot of electrical interference that would kind of drive the compass crazy or make it not be too accurate. But I could be wrong. I don't know.
Do
I've
they
never
have
tried a
just a regular
compass.
compass in a plane?
Well, yeah, they do. They have. Well, it's basically based off of a gyro. So I mean that's how they compensate for it. It's actually a gyro compass.
So I mean, should I possibly see if we can get him a more expensive compass, or what would you recommend as far as, or can you think of another test that he could do since he won't be able to open the windows?
Hmm. I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
I think he
Um,
leaves in a week or two, so think about it.
okay.
And the only thing I could think of was if every 15 minutes he just wrote exactly, you know, what the compass was telling him, and then compared that with the flat Earth, and then compare it with the globe, and see which one more closely resembles the path that the plane took.
Right.
Because I really couldn't think of anything else. And I asked him if there was like that little display on the seat in front of him showing him where he was at, and he says not that he remembers. So it must not be. I guess that's a newer thing. I don't remember going on a flight that necessarily does that either. So
Well, I mean, they have a lot of the flights have the TVs that are built right into the back of the seat, and one of the channels that you can select shows the plane's position, and you can actually also listen to the air traffic control and the pilots, communicate with the air traffic control center.
I fly Southwest. I get a bag of peanuts and a throw-up bag.
Yeah, yeah, not surprising. When we went to Hawaii this time, they actually had Wi-Fi on the plane, but of course on the route out there it didn't work, and on the route back it worked. It worked as long as you were over land, but it did not work when you were over the ocean.
What?
You're closer to space, Bob.
Yeah, yeah, and of course if this is supposed to be satellite
Wi-Fi is
based,
satellite-based. I don't understand.
yeah, I thought, that's just not quite right.
Just like when our cell phones don't work from the plane, when
Oh,
supposedly they talk to space or something.
Oh yeah, well that was the whole thing. That was one of the first things that really tipped me off about 9/11. That they were talking about. Oh yeah, all these people got out their cell phones and made a phone call from 35,000 feet, and I'm like, yeah, in a million years they did. Um, and then some people, of course, the defenders came back and said, oh well, no, they were using the phones that are in the back of the seats, and so I could just see, hijackers on the airplane and everybody getting out their credit cards,
Swiping their credit cards, entering their PIN code.
Yes, it's like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. But it's funny. I mean, the cell site, and that was one of the things that I used to do. Was I built a lot of cell sites also. When we were doing this, and the cell site antennas are long-angle radiation antennas. In other words, they have, they're made to point towards the ground and pick up signals towards the ground. And once you get up above them, I don't know, more than maybe 100 or 200, 300 feet tops, the signal just goes away. And that it's by design that way because they're trying to keep the angle of radiation low, so that they can, focus and concentrate all the cell signals, down towards the Earth plane. So, when they said that everybody was, making phone calls, that and the guy that called his mom and says, hi, Mom, this is, such and such, and he uses his first and last name. It's like,
Yeah, like that's what we'd all say.
yeah, when was the last time you called your mom and said, hi, Mom, and used your first and last name? That's ridiculous. So half the time you don't even tell your mom who you are. If your mom doesn't recognize your voice, she must be in pretty sad shape.
My favorite is the guy that stands outside the buildings, and then we saw the second plane hit, and then both buildings fell. Well, on account of the heat and have you seen that guy? He's like giving all the details. On account of the structural instability of the buildings, they had to go down. Free fall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, free fall, absolutely, in 10.2 and 10.4 seconds, I believe, respectively. Yeah, that kind of blows the pancake theory all to hell, doesn't it?
Oh, and they have that building, I don't know where it was, somewhere, some other country, that burned for like 2 days and just didn't even budge. It was like, didn't even move.
Oh, yeah, I know. Was it in Spain, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that it burned, yeah, for 2 solid days. I mean, it was completely gutted, and yet it was still standing. Well, these guys are just cutting in and out on us. Oh, how pretty. Pretty ocean. It shows nothing but ocean. Is that what we're over? It looks like
Well, it depends on
Australia.
what view they're looking at. If they're looking off to the left side,
Yeah,
then
to the
it's
southwest. Obviously, we're not looking at the southwest. Heaven forbid they would ever show us any land, that would be identifiable. And so I don't know what we got the Mr. Hanky module doing here. But if they're directly over Australia, it's amazing how they always have their cameras pointed the wrong way.
we didn't see the sun, so they don't have it pointing in front of them.
Yeah, let's see. Question, Jeremy, is how do you feel about the Giants shining their gold shoes and clean up their fishing gear?
The Giants win the World Series every other year, so I really don't see anybody who can ever say anything about the San Francisco Giants. Anybody else won the World Series in 2010, 2012, 2014? Didn't think so. And you have to remember, the Niners, we went Super Bowl, and then the Warriors won the championship this year.
Mhm.
Giants 3 times in the last 5 years. Believe me, the Bay Area is doing just fine.
Yeah, they are. Boy, I'll never forget the Super Bowl game between Denver and San Francisco. Boy, did we get our clock cleaned.
What was that, 87?
Yeah, it was quite a while ago, many, many years ago, but that game was absolutely just, I mean, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice were absolutely on fire. Just kind of blew us completely out of the water.
Yeah, that was a blowout. I forgot what the score that was. Like
Yeah,
40.
it was ridiculous. It was an embarrassment. Yeah. All right, so what about the theory that because of the significant date, same as the Ethiopian New Year, it was a one-time in a 7-year period you could have witnessed Venus within the crescent moon?
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah. He calls it a theory because of the significant date. I don't know, M. Malone. Let's see. Should be able to see Townsville. Let's see. Let's switch over to the other feed. Boy, we're just not really. They're not giving us much to make fun of today.
No, they certainly aren't.
That's it. We're gonna have to start a channel 24-hour ISS watch.
Who's ready to take part in that?
Yeah. Volunteers wanted. Well, I guess we'll look at this because it's got the little spinny satellite dish, and that's always fun to look at. But I don't know. Maybe TJ, can you find anything that's good at the archives?
Yeah, I mean,
I like it when they pan around. They actually pan around, showing that different little fake model parts.
I'd never seen that before, actually.
Seen what?
When they pan around, I mean, I've just seen that since we started watching. I'd never seen it before that.
Oh, I hadn't either. That was completely new, but I love it because, it's it gives you, it pans across all the little model parts and you can pick them apart. And the thing that cracks me up is you can clearly identify little itty bitty BNC connectors and a little bit of coaxial cable, little teeny tiny stuff. And when you think about it and put it in scale, it just tells you that it's a model. So
I totally agree.
Oh, you must be on TJ's screen now, huh?
I'll switch over.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing him. I think you're already on it. I think you're already at TJ's because it looks like he's got.
Okay, I'm going.
I got the robot arm.
Yeah.
From Canada.
Now, where should the sun be behind him?
Well, this is old, so I don't know.
This is the big storm coming here.
Yeah, it's the big hurricane that's glowing.
It was 1989, Bob. Final score 55-10.
Yeah. Oh my God, what an embarrassment.
Oh, this must be the same one we saw last week, where they're going to follow the storm going under.
Yeah, watch something different.
Yeah. I wish we could find that one that we were watching that showed the beam of light coming down on the square face with the one eye.
Oh, you could find that because it was stuck out like a sore thumb. That's why we went to it. It had like the paper maps. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh wait, was that a different time?
Let's say it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was the week after the paper maps.
Yeah. I think it was like the first episode. It was episode 1 of ISS Live.
Oh, here's the maps.
It says the map. Somebody put the map.
Looks like a Godzilla movie model. Yeah, really.
The map.
Let's see. Yeah, they never do seem to have. Well, they have had overlapping views, sort of. They've come close, but they don't ever seem to be
Oh,
synchronized.
it's a different kind of map.
Yeah. That's like with satellites and whatever.
That's another funny Brian Regan bit when he's doing the Kennedy Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, it's too bad they don't have the ISS location feed on
Oh
the
wait, was
AE
it
map.
this one? Soyuz coming in? I think this might be the one.
Maybe.
Let's see. Yeah, I think this is the one because here it comes.
Yeah, Frederick Ramstam says the sine wave doesn't make sense to me. Even accounting for globe, that's not going to be a straight line, is it? Yeah, that is interesting because it looks like they're going down and up. Well, I guess what that would be showing, Frederick, is that they would be not going straight east, but rather like in a southeasterly type direction around the planet, and then, you know, when you wrap it around, it would actually come back up. So that kind of makes sense. You know, as much as it can. Oh yeah, that one.
There it is. Spitting out that Windex.
Yep. So Visionary 138 says if Bob can recognize the electronic components on this joke, then those pieces are totally unshielded from the cosmic rays we are told are so powerful and dangerous. And absolutely right. I mean, you can see the little coaxial cables, and they have a very thin braided shield on them. Oh yeah. God, that's crazy. And you're right. The cosmic rays. That's another thing. They would have such an incredible noise level. It would be beyond belief.
This is what I always think of when I see these videos. It even mixes with the squirting Windex bottles, and it all coincides with the flashing lights.
The Febreze in space because there's so much trash out there.
No, the problem is, I mean, I have the funniest video going right now. I just can't get enough of Buzz Aldrin. The guy is classic. He now comes out and says, yeah, Neil Armstrong was the first to walk on the moon, but did you guys know that as soon as I stepped down on the moon, I pissed my pants? It's like, dude, nobody needs to hear that. I'm like, what would you ever say that for? And you know they just throw their crap out into the atmosphere, right? That's what the ISS says they do.
Yeah. Take a shit in a can and throw it on the atmosphere, let it burn up.
Yep.
And then you get a meteoroid coming down.
And we wonder why it stinks.
I don't know if New York ever figured out their problem of trash, but they used to have it piled up like a giant hill next to a highway. This was a long time ago, but worst case scenario, they could always just send it up to space and let it burn up.
Yeah, really. So, oh boy. Okay, we have a person that's just not happy with us making fun. Yeah, Tom Jones says these people are joking. In my opinion, they aren't doing any real investigation. They are only finding anomalies to continue their examination for attention.
Tell him to look at the screen right now and tell me that he thinks that's real.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He may or may not think it's real, but I mean, Tom, the whole point of this is that first of all, it's supposed to be
Look at the
made
things
by.
floating around. Look at the things floating around on the screen. There's
Yeah.
bubbles and little pieces of this thing squirting debris. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Yes.
We
Look at that.
actually came here to look at it and critique it, but when you're given this, how is the sun shining on that little thing? And not, where's the Earth? How
And
can the
that's
sun
this is what
hitting
Tuesday
that?
night is for, is looking at the ISS. That's what we've dedicated Tuesday night for.
Yep, and to just joke about it and make fun of it because let's face it, it's totally worth making fun of.
And if they
It's-
showed something real, we would sit there and say, wow, this really look at the things flying around in the background. It's like birds and little pieces of metal or something. And
Yep.
this thing, what would you need to squirt both directions for? What is that doing?
Yeah, it's just spurred all different directions, like it's making these critical orbital adjustments or something.
Now there's, okay.
Every time I look at this, I think of the movie Gravity, where George Clooney and Sandra Bullock, they're propelling themselves over to one of the space stations with a fire extinguisher. It's just patently absurd. Yeah,
I mean, this is such a model. This is, I mean, is absolutely 100% somebody having fun with Legos.
Yeah. Somebody left a comment in our video last night. They're talking about if you want to see the Skylab model or something like that, he gave a link. He said, look up a Battlestar Galactica episode. And then when Apollo and Starbuck go over to it, apparently they have all the old Skylab props in that thing from the old series Battlestar Galactica. Did you guys ever watch that?
I've
I
seen
didn't.
some of it.
Oh, I loved it. I used to watch it all the time. And the new series. The new series is absolutely fabulous. Absolutely had us on the edge of our seat every single time. I guess we looked at it the same way people look at Game of Thrones or do now. But one of my favorite shows for sure. So I'm definitely going to check that out. I looked at it a little bit, but I didn't get to the part where Starbuck and Apollo actually went over to the Cylon ship and saw the Skylab stuff. But I'm dying to see it.
I mean, how could the sun be shining like that? Oh, man.
Well, you saw when it got dark and then it lit back up again.
Yeah, their strings are showing.
I'm still worried all the things. Whoa, there goes a bubble. You see that thing?
Yes, that was
Rewind
pretty
that.
big.
Rewind
Or
that a
pretty
second.
close to that.
I haven't seen that something that big. Just give it a tiny little rewind. What was that thing?
Yeah, I totally missed the bubble. Let's see.
Watch this, right at the bottom. To the left of the little craft. Should be right about here when it gets light, right here. Should go back far enough?
Nope, I guess I didn't go back far enough. Thought I did. This
They're
time
like
I will.
They're like 6:30 is good.
We'll get to see quite a few things fly out from the bottom. They must be having like a war out there against something.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Oh no, there's a huge one that comes here at the bottom in a second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
gonna come.
Almost
I-
as big as that little Mr. Hanky thing.
Yeah, I saw one. Oh, really? Yeah, I saw one go left to right, but it was a small
There
one.
it is.
There it is.
Oh,
That's like at the Dodger games when they pass the beach ball around.
yeah. There's a
Same
little
thing.
space sundog. Space bubbles.
Yeah, they just make this so freaking boring, so people come here and say, I guess they're in space. Gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta go watch Dexter.
Well, they should be happy we're giving them all this attention then, huh?
Yeah, I told you, I had never seen more than like 310 or 320 people. How many's watching right now?
167.
Do you see this little light
not
up
our
here
show,
in the
they're-
top Not
everything
quite the
live.
top left corner, but it's close to the top left corner.
Yeah.
That-
So Itchy says it's called overexposure, and yes, you're right. It is overexposed in cheese. That's correct.
But how is it getting any light?
Well, not only that, if it's overexposed and they have the aperture that wide open, again, why aren't we seeing any stars in the background? Did you guys see the tweet that the Kelly astronaut guy sent and accidentally said the moon was the sun? He couldn't tell the difference between the moon and the sun. He took a time exposure picture. Do you see that today?
Yes. Yeah. I didn't see that today, but I saw something like that before.
Yeah, I saw that link. It's like, oh boy.
What do you say?
Uh,
I've actually seen them do that before. They made a mistake on the it was the moon and they thought it was the sun.
yeah. Well, yeah, and I suppose it could be considered an honest mistake. But
Honest mistake.
It just seems funny that that he would tweet that saying that it was the moon. And not only that, the picture that he did. And he said it was a time lapse. He said that the picture showed just tons of stars everywhere. And I was looking at the stars, and I couldn't recognize any of the constellations, though. So, again, and I think that's one of the reasons why they don't show the stars.
Oh, absolutely.
Is, I'm an amateur astronomer. I mean, the very most of amateur. And I can at least recognize constellations. And I looked, and I'm going, okay, where is that? I don't see anything that's even recognizable in there at all. And I think, they just assume people are going to look at it and go, oh, yeah, look, stars. Unfortunately, they don't. They're nonsensical.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, and those guys always tell different stories about it.
I thought this was the one with the that we were looking for, but it's not. It's not the one.
I did the math today. The Apollo 11 had the memory of 64 kbs, right?
Yeah, 64 kilobytes. Yep.
Right. And so my 8 gigabyte computer has 125,000 times more memory.
Yeah, and not to mention the processing power.
Well, the processing power, I've got a 2.7 gigahertz. They had a 0.043 hertz or megahertz.
Yeah, and it was
67,000 times
yeah.
my computer is.
Yeah, and it was less even than the 8086 processors, that they had way back when. In the early 80s, they had the Altair 8080s computer. And, of course, the Apollo computer, that thing was like a supercomputer compared to what they had in the Apollo missions.
Right. There's several. You can't really find a toaster, but you can find toaster ovens that are more than 0.0473 megahertz. So
I know.
There's toaster ovens that have more computing power than the craft that took them 248,000 miles.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And not only that, way back in the day, I remember when I was in 7th grade, they had a career day, what was called a career day. And so you got to go somewhere with somebody on the career. And, of course, I was always interested in computers and stuff like that. So I got to go with somebody to a big computer data center. And, the computers back then were huge, and they had these big reel-to-reel things that were, during, this was like 1972. And it's just so, there's such a huge difference between then and now. And even then in 72 was a good, it was three years after the moon missions. Or no, I guess it was 73 when I went, 73 or 74, excuse me, I think I was 13. So, yeah, so 5 years later, they were still doing the Apollo missions, and any power at all, processing power, took up a whole room. Not just a little limb in a spacecraft.
It's preposterous.
1.21 gigawatts, great Scott!
Now, after the sun leaves the limb here, let's see how long the ISS continues to be lit. Because if it's 150 miles off the Earth, oh, there you go. They heard me.
Are we live again, or are you
Did it go
doing
back?
recording?
Did you? Oh,
Here,
I thought we were live.
we're back live.
Oh, did it go back in time?
No. I was on a different video trying to see if it was anything. No, I went back to the live stream.
I think just because somebody mentioned 1.121 gigawatts, we did go back in time.
So I was trying to determine which direction that the camera's facing. So I figured that we have to be facing somewhat
South.
to the front of the direction we're going because we're seeing dark come first, and also the direction that the Earth is moving that's the direction that we're headed. Since we are
No. Because the Earth, you can't think of the Earth as moving.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying based on the direction that the Earth is moving, that's the direction that the ISS is moving forward. So the Earth is coming at us, so that's the direction that we're going. Not that the Earth is rotational, we're just sitting in space.
Am I confused again? I might be confused again. I thought we're going to the left here. Isn't the ISS flying to the left 17,000 miles per hour?
It's going from west to east. Yes.
Right, which is the sun is setting behind us.
Yes.
Right, so we're looking south. Correct?
Correct.
This
Correct.
camera's looking south.
Correct. Yes.
Just making sure.
And where are we? Yeah, we're definitely in the dark part. Now,
So then the
shot
camera would be like east, probably like east-southeast, because you can see that the direction that the Earth is coming at us, we're not facing straight south.
Okay, right. It would be
Facing more of an
southeast,
eastern
I guess.
direction.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, so what are you going to say, Bob?
I don't remember. That we're in the dark again. Now, mine, I'm seeing the sun. If you switch over to mine, Jaron, I don't know if this is supposed to be the sun at the top.
Yeah, it is.
Up here,
Is this
or
live?
reflection.
No,
This is live.
that's the studio spotlight.
Yeah,
Is this supposed to be live, though?
this is live. Yes.
So then, yeah, go back to your other view, TJ, just so I can show that, I mean, it's just preposterous.
That's TJ's.
Yeah, so what they're
That's
trying to
fine.
say is that this is the view of the sun going down, which would be behind us, and when we go to this view, it's supposed to be that the sun is behind us. But why is the Earth not lit? But here, you can see that the Earth is lit.
Yeah,
It's
because
ridiculous.
so is the sun reflecting off of this solar panel up here? Is that what we're seeing? Oh, there it's going dim, 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 dim.
What?
So yeah,
Where's-
okay.
Oh, boy.
No, well, yeah, it seems, yeah, that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. And somebody will try and explain that and say, because you wouldn't see the glare. It's such a joke. They can't fake space because there's no such thing that they even understand. They wouldn't even know what space is for them to think that that would. How could I don't know.
Oh, look, it's
coming
coming
back.
back. The sun's coming back again.
I just
Well,
lose
I'm
my mind.
blue.
What on God's green earth is going on with my screen? Oh, do you see the camera lens? Did you see that?
Yeah, you could see it through the window usually. Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're switching cameras, or we're experiencing a temporary loss of signal. I gotta read. So, oops, that's nice. I was like, I want to read some comments. The first one I see is something
It's
about.
Eddie B's. Yes, I saw
Yeah.
that.
I saw that.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Thanks, Eddie. Is he talking to us?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe because of your song you were playing earlier. I don't know.
Hey, that's a funny song.
Yeah.
Don't care what nationality it's on behalf of.
So,
That's another
there
thing. You know who was absolutely rude? Is like newspapers, when I was reading that newspaper site today, in like the 40s and 50s, just the United States and the media was so racist. They'll just flat out say things like, United States warns the Japs to do this, this, and this. It's like, what the hell? How would you just write that in a newspaper?
Yeah, exactly.
They just were so outlandish like that. It's like, at least we've come quite a ways.
So in about, it looks like 10 minutes or so, we're going to be going over, some heavily populated areas of South America. So we should be seeing some lights on the ground.
Oh, they'll never show that.
I know that, but
Oh.
now is somebody? What we need to do now is pull up a live satellite cloud map and see how cloud covered South America is right now. And I would bet you that it's not going to be completely clouded over.
What was that site you guys went to last time? Something about
W Underground?
Yeah, I'll try
That was one of them. All right, just love that sun. Spotlight, yeah, no kidding, Spotlight. Blinded by the light. Let's see. Brap Allgood says, question, did you not want to come on TFR this Friday? I don't know what TFR is.
Who asked that?
Brap Allgood?
Did I not want to come on TFR?
This Friday.
I have no idea what he's talking about. I guess I need to... TFR, do you know what that stands for?
No.
No.
TFR.
Come on, Brap, tell us what it means.
The friendly radio.
Did you see somebody also was posting some more NASA acronyms in our show last night?
No, was there some good ones?
Oh God, she had some great ones. I should actually pull those up because that was just funnier than I'll get out.
Ooh, is California supposed to get some rain finally?
Boy, that would be nice. Put out some fires there. How's the smoke there, Jaron? Is it?
It's definitely making the sun red.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Oh, Truth Frequency Radio. Okay.
Oh, I'm
Right.
game. Email me again because I sometimes sleep read.
Okay.
Jaren's not
Sorry.
good with email.
Yeah, sorry for being dense, Brett. All right, so.
But if you have Jaren on the show, you have to have all of us on the show.
I have so many people that have emailed me and want to be on this show.
I bet they want to jump in for the popularity.
So I told one of them, I said to write an essay. I said, I got to run the essay by Bob and TJ, so go ahead and write an essay and we'll read it.
Yeah, who is the host of Truth Frequency Radio? What's that guy's name?
I don't even remember. Don't remember.
Brap says, check your damn email for a change, Sharon.
I really do check it. I really do. But I am backed up, I'll tell you that much.
He's constipated in his emails.
I just can't get it out.
Yeah, that Truth Frequency Radio, I know Rob Skiba's on there. Sorry, I don't know. Is it Skiba? Is it Skiba? What is it?
Skiba, yeah.
Who else is on there? Oh, are they talking about having your own show on there? Is that what someone's talking about? You having your own show and not being on somebody else's?
I've never been asked that before, so I don't think so.
Okay, NASA, not another stupid astronaut, is one that she had. And let's see, NASA, Nazis arrange satanic agreements.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. That is she likes that one the best too. That was posted by Victoria Sarton, Captive Princess. Not another stupid astronaut. Okay, she had another good one too.
So for the record, the Shemitah happened and nothing happened.
Yeah, not yet. People are saying, well, not people, but the 23rd is supposed to be a big day. Possibly later this week. There's some. I'm not saying this is a Shemitah. There's what is it? Jeez, my friend was telling me the Federal Reserve is supposed to have something come out this week, so people in the financial market are thinking that the interest rate hike could happen this week, but yeah, still waiting.
Have you heard numbers that they might go to?
Yep, anywhere from 0.25% to 0.35.
Oh, I heard much, much higher.
Over time, it's going to go up, but that's supposed to be this fall how much is supposed to go up, and they're going to keep raising it over at least over the next year. So, what's her name? Janet Yellen earlier this year said 0.25%. Then there was a supposed leaked document on the Federal Reserve website that said this fall they're raising it to 0.35. And she gave her forecast if things went really bad, what the possibility was, and it was pretty bad, and that was with a 0.25% increase. So if it does go that or more, it could be really ugly.
You know who I might be on his show? I've actually looking forward to it. Do you know who Jeff Berwick is?
Oh, you talking about the Dollar Vigilante?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he contacted me once me to be on his show, so that might be coming up this next week.
Now, this is kind of an interesting story. He sent out an email sharing about how he started looking into these 7-year cycles and the financial collapse and the one that was coming up that he's been expecting. And then with all that, he came across the Shemitah and started looking at the Shemitah and all the stuff that happens during the Shemitah. And he said he was agnostic, and he said there was just too eerie, all the events that happen around this time of the year. And so he changed from being agnostic to being a believer in God. And I was like, man, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's got a good video out about it.
Yeah, that's what I watched. He has 2 Shemitah videos right now.
No, I thought the other thing that was crazy is I think it's also that guy Dave, allegedly Dave, that was also an atheist until Flat Earth.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, he did say that on the Patricia Steers show.
And even goes as far as to say now he absolutely knows for a fact that God exists.
Well, I do too, and I've never doubted that there is an ultimate creator.
But I mean, for someone to go from being an atheist to then saying not just, well, I think maybe, but to absolutely say, I absolutely know is a huge step.
Uh-huh. Definitely is.
So, TJ, remember that link you sent me, about Matt Powerland posting on Patricia Steers' page when she was talking to
he
allegedly.
posted in the Flat Earth group.
Oh, I thought it was on her Facebook page.
No, he posted on the Flat Earth group, and I don't think he tagged her, but she's in that group.
So did she explain, or did anybody explain what the deal was with that? Because what happened was, Jaron, I think I told you this yesterday. Apparently, they were talking about the things that you can give babies.
You said the blood part.
Yeah, she said, well, yeah, if you don't feed the baby breast milk, that you should feed them coconut milk, I believe she said. And then Dave said, or blood, and she's like, pardon me. And then you can kind of read his lips, and he says, or blood. And then she goes, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then of course Matt Powerland went absolutely apeshit over that comment, and accused her of being a clickety clack, kind of like it did a Dave J on her. And
that stuff is just crazy to me. It's absolutely insanity.
Yeah,
like anybody is doing all these flat Earth videos so that they can sneak in a little tiny thing about babies and blood. It's like, pff, give me a break.
I know, but I mean, I was wondering if she just didn't understand what he said, and she just kind of went, oh, she's just going along with it, not really understanding. Or, I mean, what happened there? Did she ever post any comment about it?
Based on me just hearing you tell the story, what it sounded like to me is she said that we should give babies only breast milk or coconut milk, right?
Right.
And he just said, and blood, because a baby can't just live off breast milk and coconut milk. They need blood.
What they were saying is they were talking about the body and what you need, and he talked about a lot of his stuff. And so she was saying how coconut water can be used if a baby can't have breast milk, maybe because the mom has some problems or whatever. She said what you can use in place of breast milk, and the only thing that can be used, which is not really true, but the only thing that you can use is coconut water. And so then that's why Dave said, or blood, and she's like, oh yeah, right, or blood. And then they moved on to other things.
Yeah,
And
I mean it's
and neither one explained what they were talking about.
Nope, that was it. They just moved on from there.
and
No,
then,
but I
and,
mean like subsequently.
yeah, since then. That's what I was
since
wondering.
then. Let me see.
Does anybody in the chat know anything about that? What happened, or if she came out and explained that, or anybody? Because that was, I mean, that was really off the cuff. That was kind of bizarre, and I didn't, I did watch the interview, but I think I completely missed that because they were kind of talking over each other.
What's the other guy? The other guy, Dave's name. Dave what?
Dave Murphy? That's
No, the other guy that's on the Baller Skeptic show. Drawing a blank.
People in the chat, they'll know.
Yeah, guys, what's the Dave's name in the Baller Skeptic show? Dave. God, why can't I think of his name? Because I saw a Facebook post that said, warning, warning, and him and that girl were going to join in together to make a show, and it's like, shill warning. I'm like, what are people doing? Like, they're both great. I like Dave. What is his last name? I have to go find it.
Yeah. Let's see. Is it Star Wars?
There's someone saying Dave
Dave Weiss.
Yeah, Dave Weiss.
That's right.
Thank you, whoever said that.
Exceptional perception. Thank you, sir.
He does have exceptional, phenomenal knowledge.
And decode. Yeah.
Yes, I heard him and that girl are going to be. They're doing a show together.
That's true. Jordan Rain says urine is blood plasma. You can drink it.
I heard we kind of decided we could, right?
Well, that's what they're saying. I just can't get past the mental stigma.
Plug your nose and just down the hatch.
So I'm looking
ahead,
on
TJ.
Patricia's Facebook, and I don't see anything on there, a response. Let me go back to the Facebook group and see if Meth Powerland still has his posts in there, which is totally ridiculous. And
isn't it all capital letters?
I think there's a lot of capital letters.
There's a good one. No one says nefarious and stupid assholes for NASA.
That's a good one.
That's pretty good. You're going to have another one of those contests, I guess, Jaron.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe we can rename the ISS too. What does ISS stand for?
Oh God. I don't know. I think we finally figured out that everybody's talking about how the NASA is just one letter short of the acronym for Satan, and what most people don't realize is that NASA's actual name is the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. So there's your T, guys. It is truly an anagram for Satan.
Oh, it has every letter there. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. So his post is in all capital letters. How could I forget that?
Yeah.
Like psycho wrote it or whatever. So he said.
Now, this would be funny because I want you to read it. Just read it
up
for
on
us as written.
Do you want to share my screen and people can see it?
It's shared.
Also?
It is shared, yeah.
So Matthew Powerland, he says you will have to make a decision on this one at 2 hours and 25 minutes. Patricia Steer condones drinking blood, feeding human blood to babies. A vegan who condones blood drinking. Wow. Holocaust denial, blood drinking. Vegans and stars, arseholes, worships the sun, and they are all seemingly hubbing. What the hell? What? Hold on.
You got to start over from the beginning. I'm just kidding.
So blood drinking, vegans and stars, arseholes, worships the sun, and they are all seemingly hubbing around Sargent. Must be surprised that not everyone in this movement has the realize real liars. Zero consistency, total contradiction to veganism, busted. Another FE covert, global parasite needs to be removed, damaging the credible researchers and spokespeople of the movement. An attempt to make it appear crazy by flooding the net with this kind of borderline Babylonian ritual paganism disguised as healthism. Patricia Steer needs to explain how she can be a vegan, condones drinking blood. I mean, people seem to think me being a full artist and political scientist needs to be explained in FE, LOL. Now, if you want to, I can take you right to that place.
What place? Where are we going?
To the video where they talk about it.
Okay, good. Thought of somewhere else.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit further than what he says it is. It's,
yeah, it's like around
a couple minutes up.
2:29.
Yeah.
I guess I have to play this commercial.
Yeah. Yeah, have you noticed the pop-up blockers don't stop the ads on YouTube anymore?
No,
Bastards. I see shit. I smoke stuff. Yeah, see, already people, it's shit. Idiots swimming secretly. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry is a good one.
Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, people are gonna have fun with that one for sure.
See if she responded here at all.
Yeah. Oh, Jordan Reid says a baby lives on urine for 9 months in mommy, and that's true because amniotic fluid is urine. That's definitely true. Imaginary space station. Yep. I'm so slick.
Jeez.
Imaginary spaceship. So I'm seeing you scroll.
Nope, she didn't. She didn't respond to it. So you want me to play this?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
All right. Hold on a second. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
I had to unplug my headset because I've got to play this into the microphone because I don't think this plays audio.
And I absorbed something like I must have been a gallon of water.
You could leave it small. That's
Okay.
No, that's fine.
So small because it's kind of.
I just absorbed it. Just soaked it up. And then I rested for a little while, and then I set off on my walk again. Managed to get there, and when I got there, I was still parched. So I literally another 2 liters of water and coconut water I ended up getting, and again just soaked it up. So yeah, I got very dehydrated, and people said that I looked like I turned into a prune or something.
Well, coconut water is the only thing that you can give babies as a replacement for breast milk. Although people give,
And
Hmm?
and blood.
Oh, and blood. Yes, I forgot about that. Yes. So coconut water is a great thing, and it's actually distilled by the coconut, really. So it's another form of distilled water. These things are right in front of our eyes, and nature has been showing us the way to be. And our own bodies have, but we're so shut down, and I'm saying I'm included in that, by all the mainstream stuff and all the propaganda and brainwashing, and we've become. I used to use the word sheeple because that's what I've been saying for years, but I changed that to sleeple. We're sleeping, and we need to wake up. A lot of people have been talking about Dave about things happening at the end of the month and maybe a few.
So that's it. I mean, where they talked about blood and set Math Powerlin off.
I don't really get it, but
I don't either.
You don't get it, meaning what? Why he was set off, or why they said babies can drink blood, or?
yeah, I don't understand why he said and blood, and then for her to say what, and then he said and blood, and she goes, oh yeah, I forgot about that, and blood. I don't think that you can jump from that and say, oh, shill.
Right, right.
But
But-
I actually think very highly of Patricia Steer. I think I think she does. She has a talent for interviewing people, and I don't have any problem at all with her. I think but that was bizarre. It was kind of like the time, and I've like I told you yesterday, Jaron, I've kind of come to the conclusion that Mark Sargent is no shill. I don't see any damage that he's done by his theories or anything like that. And I did, one time the most suspicious thing that he ever did was in one of his interviews. He made a comment to the effect of, well, yeah, I live here in Colorado, here inside, at the Federal Center, and I thought, wait a minute, in the Federal Center, and that blew me away. But and he's just said it so matter-of-factly. It didn't sound like he was joking to me.
He's
but,
actually very good at that. In fact, I had to tell him a couple times, like, dude, you can't do that anymore because I think people believe you. He's like, no, they don't. No, they don't. I'm like, yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
the
really
craziest
does.
thing to me is when he was interviewing me and his shelf broke, and he's like, oh, sorry, my shelf just fell. And I didn't even catch it till the end of the show. Like, somebody had said something about, did anybody catch that the shelf fell? And I was like, no way. I went back and looked. I was like, there's no way he could have possibly thought of that quickly after his shelf fell.
Did he say
But
shelf or shelf?
He said shelf.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, now here's the thing I didn't realize. I've never asked him about this, but some people think he played a sound effect of a shelf falling. So he was like planning it, like made this sound like something crashed and then said, oh, excuse me, my shelf broke. Now, I thought that a shelf really broke.
Whoops.
That must be the Missa effect.
Yeah, I thought that the shelf actually kind of kicked over too. Wow, did we lose Jaron? Anyway, while we're waiting for him to come back, we got to do a few more ISS ones. Invisible stars and satellites.
Missed the one above that one. Oh, there's a couple of them.
Interstellar spoopy stuff. That's pretty good.
Incrementally shitty space feed.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. Oh, isn't that the truth? Because I've been sitting here watching static for the last, they have the live feed on, but of course it's static, and I've been looking for any city lights. It's just not there.
Has anyone out there in the chat seen the video of where the tool bag bounces off of the Earth screen while they're out in space?
Yeah, we actually showed the one we showed last night. If you didn't see it.
Wonder how many of these people have seen that. I just can't believe it.
What did we show last night?
The tool bag hitting the fake Earth. When it went down and it bounced off the Earth and it kind of gleamed out the video. Let's see. Matrix said, I think coconut water can be used as a substitute to replace lost bloods intravenously in an accident scenario. Interesting. I had no idea about anything of this. But yeah, I mean, it was a strange comment, and I'm sure there was a reason for it.
I saw that she described him as a fruitarian and breatharian. So somebody want to explain that to me?
Yeah, I saw that, the breatharian.
Who is not a breatharian?
Well, you don't do the special breathing exercises.
Well, they need to come up with a different name for it.
Yeah. Oh wow, TJ. I'm sitting here looking at the live feed and our local feed, and TJ's got the live feed on the local feed.
Huh?
You have the live feed on your screen is live with you looking at the feed on the channel. God, I'm getting confused here. Anyway, you're doing a loop. Ay, Chihuahua, ay, caramba.
Well, we're nowhere close to coming back on the day side, are we?
No.
No, we're about 60% through.
Well,
I suppose you could pull up another, go back to one of the inside ones, because I kind of want to look at one of the inside ones, TJ, and see, if we can kind of detect or, kind of validate what Jaron was thinking about maybe having some magnetic clothing on that was doing that, because I think that's a possibility. I think that's better than the one guy's video that what was that? God, what was his name? That was talking about how he thought it was anti-grav tech.
Yeah, that was Tiger Dan.
Tiger Dan, yeah, that's right. And yeah, Tiger Dan was the guy also that got that hit piece that drew, God, 500,000 views or something like that.
Yes,
and it was
because that guy apologized for all those people coming and making negative comments on Tiger Dan. He's like, I apologize. I was actually just watching it, just laughing at it, not necessarily to bring a whole bunch of negativity to you. Here we
what
go.
was that video called? Some so-and-so watches Tiger Dan.
Yeah, let me. I'll pull it
Well,
up
here's
here.
an important. While you look that up, Bob, we'll do this important experiment happening on the ISS right now.
This is live.
No, this is recorded.
On September 9th.
This is Easter eggs.
Look at the eyeball in the bottom.
That's Saturn. Can't you tell it's a sphere? That's seriously what things look like, and people will tell you it's a damn sphere.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Wakey Wakey did a pretty funny one too with Bert and Ernie. Anybody hasn't seen that one? That was pretty funny.
Oh, that looks like a what are those things? The olives with the pimento in the middle.
Yeah.
Ew, I hate those.
Oh, I love those.
Nasty.
Let's go get a jar.
Yeah, let's see.
What are they called? Starts with an M.
They're called,
Manzanilla.
I wanted to say, just to make sure that put out there that I like listening to Mark Sargent, and I always like to make sure that whenever I hear somebody like getting all crazy shilly or people getting all commenty and or whatever you want to call it, not good with words, but I always say flat Earth friendship, flat Earth friendship. So I always think about that all the time.
Me and Miss have this inside joke, and if you've ever watched Mark's show, you'll get it. But we always say to each other, "Space Grandpa."
Space Grandpa.
Space Grandpa. Okay.
You have to have seen his show. There's a couple episodes where he's got I think it's his cousin, but he'd say, and with me this week is filling in for Jonathan is my cousin, otherwise known as, and he would always pop in and say, Space Grandpa. I don't know why. It was funny. Sorry, we laugh at some of the weirdest of things.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Wakey Wakers was pretty funny with Bert and Ernie. Ernie's calling Bert a globe head. And
how do you do that? He's just mouthing over their moving.
Yeah, and he actually does a really good job. And there's one point his Australian accent kind of comes through, but it's still pretty funny. So yeah, all right. So Dopefish. Okay.
Oh,
so,
Dopefish. That's right.
Yeah. Dopefish watches 25 proofs for a flat Earth, and it got an absolutely ridiculous amount of views. In fact, Mark Sargent was saying that it went up over like 100,000 in a matter of a couple of hours, and then if you go to his channel, all of a sudden he started getting Tiger Dan started getting these incredibly all these dissenters coming in and making negative comments, and then all these thumbs downs, and as of yesterday, it's interesting because the thumbs up and thumbs down were both equal at like 800 and something. And so I threw a thumbs up on it, and within 2 seconds there was a thumbs down. It was almost like, YouTube is clearly manipulating it for some reason. And I don't even know what the purpose is behind that. But let's see. It's where he responds. Oh, that's so weird. I'm not seeing the video listed. Let's see. Oh,
I'm
you
not
got
really
the.
sure how this would work with magnetism.
Well, it doesn't even really look like they're up off the ground. You can't really tell
True.
there.
And I don't understand how those wires aren't all just moving all over the place.
Okay, so it says Rob Skiba, Mark Sargent talk about Tiger, and I respond. Um, that's the video that he actually responds on it. But the influx of attack came in on his.
Whose screen are we watching?
If you're watching the Asian float around with the looks like a giant penis tent, then that's mine.
Can you rewind it about 30 seconds? He did one of the weirdest little moves right now down there. I just want to see it again. He disappeared. Oh.
Here he comes. I guess it started a little too.
That's all right. I just wanted to watch. He kind of had his feet underneath that little pole, and then he sprung himself to the top. That was just weird. He didn't seem to. His feet never left the ground.
Oh, Wiki's English. Okay, I thought he was Australian. All right, well, learn something new every day. Thanks, Matrix.
Well, I thought he was Australian too.
Huh. Well, I mean, the accent sounds really similar to me, but I mean, I know there's a difference. I guess it's just more apparent on some than others.
Does Matrix have anything interesting to say about the ISS? I could send him a link. He's always got a lot to say.
Yeah, you can do that. Send him a link and bring him into the chat or the group. What do you say, Matrix?
We've run out of bad words to call the ISS.
Yeah, they still haven't come up with anything yet, but let's see, where are we? We're about 80% of the way through the darkness.
Almost there.
Yeah, getting there. Now, Wakey lives in the wilderness in Spain. Yeah, that's right.
He does not look like he's floating in this one to me.
Yeah, it's one of the issues is that how things float isn't always consistent, and it's not always consistent at the same time. Like you can have an object that will just sit there and sink, while an object like a microphone will sit there and float in the same space that it's in, and then there will be objects that will move from like center to right or center to left and going towards an upward projection, like something just powered it to just take off.
Yeah. Hey, Jaron, Matrix says, cool, send me a link.
What's his email? Do I know it?
I don't know.
I think I do.
Okay. International shit show.
Yes.
You got some clever people out in the chat. Love it.
Those are good. Remember some of those because I'll have to put that into a video here. I got more Starbucks gift cards to give away.
Cool.
No, it's interesting that when you sit here and watch it, you don't really see much going on, but if you like move forward, go backwards, move forward, go backwards, like just click in some different spots, like this blue thing over here on the right off that black box, that moves up and down, but you would never notice that just by watching it. But just by clicking back about 30 seconds, clicking forward, you can see it just bounce up and down. Then you can see the other things inside of the space station that just move.
The abandoned ship.
So how close are we now?
We are about 85% through. So we are definitely getting there. Let's see. Isn't space shitty? Imposters saying stuff.
Isn't space shitty is awesome.
Okay, Matrix says send a link to my YouTube messages.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right,
Well, where'd that
Matrix.
guy come from? So we'll have a guy, bald-head guy, come in here shortly, and he'll climb up in the ceiling, or maybe he'll climb out of the ceiling.
Inside soundstage. I'm so stoned. Isn't sanitary station. Idiotic stupid shit. Inflatable spherical screen.
That's good. Somebody's
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. By the way, that was cool. That link that the
Yeah, tell everybody about that site.
I can't remember what it was. All I know is
Illuminati. It
yeah,
was Illuminati, ELUMNATI, right?
right. All I remember was Jaron finding a way into the space thing and sending you the link, and then he didn't like the watermark on it, so he modified it and took it out, and he just totally started screwing with it. And when I say Jaron, I mean my son Jaron.
Yeah,
who's
you're
kind of
confusing everybody, including me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he's kind of a computer prodigy. He's amazing, to say the least. So okay, so Matrix says cool.
It's coming over.
International Snoochie Snoogans Bong.
What? What does that mean?
I don't know. Indoctrination station in space. Yeah. These are great.
Oh, that's what the problem is.
It's Santa's shop.
As in make believe.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right, I sent it there. Matrix.
Yeah, so actually, the North Pole Santa's Workshop thing, that's actually in Colorado Springs, Jaron. Remember I told you how they had the North Pole
Right.
in Colorado? That's actually, they have that down in the Santa's Workshop that's down in the Springs.
How do you mean? Am I missing the joke?
Well, no, remember how we were talking about last night about the North Pole, and you said that that's not there anymore, and I said, oh, that's because they moved to Colorado.
Yeah.
They actually have at northpolecolorado.com.
Oh,
They have the
really?
Santa's Workshop in North Pole, Colorado.
So now they're gonna. This is part of the Mandela effect. Now they're gonna start teaching everybody it's in Colorado.
Yeah, it's at 5050 Pikes Peak Highway in Cascade, Colorado. You know where Cascade is?
Sure do. I used to live right there.
Yeah. See, you lived at the North Pole, Jared. You didn't even know it.
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah, that's funny. That's great.
Matrix come in yet?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be here in a moment.
We are at show 03, right? 03, I don't remember.
Yes, we are in show 03.
Okay.
So, and the ISS is about to break out of the darkness. Oh, and it's starting to show a little bit of light on the feed. Oh, yeah. Here we got sunrise. All right, let's see. And we got that crazy looking sunrise again, too. So let me share my screen.
Yeah, I'll come over there.
All right. So we have that one, and then we also have this one. It's showing a little starting to come up. I like this one better. And again, so what is this up here? I mean, is this the sun, or is this a reflection, or?
That's the sun.
Yeah. You're I don't think you're on mine. Oh, maybe you are.
I think I am.
Oh, yeah, you are. You are. I'm sorry.
The big yellow one's the sun, right?
Yeah, the yellow one's the sun.
No, that's the spotlight.
Oh, there's Matrix.
Hey,
Matrix, are you? Hey, what's going on?
hey, Joe and Bob, Missa, and who's the other person in the hangout?
TJ's here as well.
TJ. Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
Doing good, Matrix.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Ah.
Yeah, tell us what you think of the ISS and their live footage?
Well, I mean, I've been looking at it for 7 or 8 months now, and videoing it, and it's just ridiculous. It appears to be some kind of CGI studio thing. The way I look at the clouds, it doesn't seem to be chemtrail. You can't see planes reflecting. It's supposed to be like, I don't know, something like 40,000 planes in the sky at any one time. And,
I've never thought of that, and it never even hit me. But yeah, especially when they're showing the white clouds, and the planes are usually above those clouds. I've never seen one plane.
Yeah. I mean, that's yeah, exactly.
Do you have any idea what you think they're doing on the inside shots?
I think like what Eric DeBay and a few other people have said is it seems to be a combination of things: green screen, harnesses, the planes, the zero-G planes, and I mean, I think it's also possible they have some kind of technology to. I mean, this is speculation. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I lean towards. I don't know what exactly it is. I just feel like they have such a open budget. If you're not spending 250 billion on this thing like you told everybody you are, then I think you've got. Just think of the things you could do if you were given $2 billion, let alone 250 billion.
yeah. I mean, they're definitely using all the tricks they've got, but they seem to. I mean, it's like a lot of NASA imagery. It seems it's so poorly done and just not realistic. I mean, there's so many problems with it. I mean, I think what you guys have been doing, analysing the ISS feed on your shows in the last few weeks has been great and really insightful. Looking at the structure of the space station as well. I mean, it seems like they have all these wires out there, and just the way it's all put together seems like something you would absolutely not do if you was going to be in space, traveling at 17,500 miles an hour.
Oh, absolutely. And I think micrometeoroids disprove the whole thing. You have little things that they say that weigh a gram coming 20,000 miles per hour. It would go right through any of that little orange tinfoil there.
Yeah, it's such an ad hoc design. That's the other thing that strikes me. It's like they just throw all these sections together, and if gravity is supposedly 95% up there still, and they're in this free fall state, any docking maneuver or anything like that with any craft docking would kind of reverberate all the way through the station, and you can only imagine the stresses that would be present, and it just seems like it would break up. So yeah, that's just one of many things that absolutely make no sense, but to me, the exposed wiring, especially with all the gamma radiation, and the fact that they're supposed to be in the thermosphere, is just ridiculous. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all we got.
That's okay. Oh, wait, I think I can cut back on. That's okay. Never fear, I have more.
Does anybody in the chat room have a password to SLU? Anybody a member at SLU where we could maybe stay on just till 9 o'clock to laugh at whatever? Did you see what they're trying to do with that, Matrix?
No, no, what's that?
Well, tonight at 9 o'clock on the SLU website, which is slooh.com, where they have telescopes and things, they said for the first time they're going to track the ISS in the sky while the ISS looks back at SLU from space. So that's supposed to happen in a half hour, and it's going to be something pre-recorded, completely different views that we've never seen before, different camera angles. It'll be a joke, I promise.
It's going to be some good quality stuff.
Unreal. So they cut both cameras again when it's right over the landmass of Asia. It's just so phony.
Where will they be at 9 o'clock? Can you track it that? Oh, it tells you where they'll be in an hour and a half.
So that's a half an hour from now.
Yeah,
so it'll be above Australia?
Yeah, and boy, it should be dead above Australia. So something tells me Australia's going to have nothing but clouds over the top of it.
And won't they be looking right into the sun?
Well, the sun's going to be kind of, depends on where they are. It's going to be above them. So yeah, that telescope would be looking up at the ISS as it's crossing in front of the sun.
One of those views.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot out of that for sure.
I'm going to go over there and see if they're doing anything yet.
Okay, let's see. I'm looking in the chat to see if anybody has a password or anything like that. Not seeing anything.
Or if they want to give us their credit card number, I'll just punch that in real quick. And
well, I suppose one of us could try to join the free thing.
yeah, let me see if it's free or what's going on here.
Okay, let me actually. And you said it was SLOOH?
Yeah.
There's a link in the chat.
All right, so I'm gonna join for free. Let's see what I can do here.
Oh, they had the eclipse? I was looking for this the other day. Supposedly they've got live footage of the eclipse from the 13th. I'd like to see this.
Ah, yes, they want a credit card. The bastards.
Bastards.
It's a 4732169. I'm just kidding.
Alright, I'm joining it.
I'm listening to you punching in and I'm getting your numbers.
Oh boy. Yep. Alright. AFK for a second. I gotta go get my credit card.
I'm going to flip over to see if you can see my screen real quick. I don't know if it works. Never does, but we'll try it. Where's the little button?
Oh, look at that. We see your screen.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I figured it out. I'm good. Strong one.
You just have a really cool view. The infinite view of...
Oh, is it still infinite, or do you see the SLU screen?
I see SLU.
This is the eclipse, supposedly from yesterday, day before, September 13th. I've never watched it. We're going into it live. Oh, how long is it?
I love the 3 stars that are supposed to be like the 3 pyramids.
Yep, looks like the eclipse to me.
Oh, hey, Bob.
It looks like Bob.
Okay, there you go. Sorry, am I unmuted?
Yep,
Wait,
we're just
where is
watching
this
the eclipse here.
South Africa.
Yeah, the eclipse could only be seen from the very tip of Africa and Antarctica.
Oh, isn't
I'm
that
sorry,
strange?
what did I say?
South America.
No, South Africa and Antarctica.
Courtesy of Paul Funk.
Who's Paul Funk?
That's
Oh,
this
I
is
see down there.
courtesy, yeah.
So now, this is what I never understand. So the moon is in the sky right now, correct?
Oh, I thought that was the sun.
No, I know, but the moon must be getting damn close to it. It's a minute and 45 seconds away from covering it.
Yes.
It makes no sense that you wouldn't be able to see it. Especially if the sun is 890,000 miles in diameter and 93 million miles away. Oh, that was a nice skip. Typical, exactly. Sorry, I don't want to skip ahead because I'm actually trying to see the damn moon ahead of time.
Now remember, when it gets close, don't look at the sun.
Oh, I'm looking.
Every once in a while, I try to look at the sun when I'm outside, and it doesn't work out very well.
No, sometimes that won't work out very well.
It's like,
You'll
oh, I'm
end
going
up
to go
like
take a look at the sun today. Like, nope, that didn't last very long.
Galileo Galilei. Now, see, I don't know. I'm not gonna say things unless I. Why would you be so far away from that? The whole scene is changing. The screen's getting blurrier. I can already tell it's going to come from the top.
Did you see, I mentioned this way earlier, I think this was before the show. Did you see Rob Skiba's video he did where he debunked himself?
No, I didn't even know what you mean by that.
Well,
I
what
debunk
happened?
myself daily, but
Well, what he did was he put out a video talking about the Earth that had the moon passing in front of it, that animation, and he said that that would not even be possible. Taking a shot a million miles away for it to match up like that. So he came out with an experiment. He had two balls, and he placed them apart from each other to what it should be, and then took the camera and just did like a small scale of that picture and found out that it's pretty close to what it should look like. And so then he said, well, when they were on the moon, there's no way they would have seen Earth that small. So he took a shot real close to the ball that would be the moon, and the Earth was actually really small. So for perspective, it actually worked out pretty close to what NASA pushes off. So it was a pretty good video, and also explains why we've got to do experiments and test it out to see what do we really come up with.
what time was this eclipse? How is the sun going up? I thought the eclipse was... I'm confused.
What's this time doing? So the time is now going down?
It says maximum eclipse, but it said eclipse started, it was a countdown to 0, then it hit 0 and didn't do anything.
So stay tuned as it rises up over South Africa. So I don't know what...
Let me see, I'm kind of skipping through a little... Oh yeah, there we go. You jackasses.
Oh, jeez.
What a joke. This is what I talk about, and I understand why people get upset and say, I've seen eclipses, I know that they're real. Well, then why won't they show them? There's not a video anywhere that'll show it. It's like, why can't we just see this view? Why not just leave the camera right here and show the damn moon cross in front of it? We don't need protection. We don't need to go to this solar filter. Oh boy. Is this really what they're going to show? Oh good, now where's the other view? What the...
Oh boy, the werewolf's coming out.
I'm sorry, that's as fake as they get. What was that shadow?
That was the clouds.
What is that? Bob, what's that shadow?
Let me see.
clouds.
I mean, are you going to tell me the moon is going to cause a shadow on the damn sun?
That's a good question.
So
Try and find
do
that
they go
thing.
straight from the sun in the sky to a close-up of the moon passing in front of the sun?
Whoa. Did they what?
Do they go straight from the shot of the sun in the sky to the moon passing over it?
Yeah. Look at, I mean, there's like shadows appearing on this. What is that?
Because I'm not sure, are we even looking at the eclipse? Because if you look at the live feed over on the left, there's nothing being eclipsed. Are they showing like some old
Oh
video?
no, this is supposed to be happening in real time. Now they got commercials.
Oh, so are they running commercials?
Look at the shadow. Oh
That's-
boy.
So,
All right, well, I'm gonna
So,
fast
Jeremy,
forward this.
you,
ahead.
you obviously can navigate this better than I. So I'm going to send over to you via text on the phone my username and password, and see if you can figure out this any better than I can, because it seems really confusing.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
They just zoomed in on an orange. Did you see that?
Now what is this? Oh, May. So don't tell me it's the same damn eclipse. Let me fast forward to where it happens. Okay. Now the sun is going down?
It must
Oh,
be on the other.
Now it's going up. Or sideways.
Seriously,
Okay.
they've got talking heads on here for almost 2 hours, watching the sun go up.
And it's not a cheap site either. I want to say it's like $14.99 a month.
Yeah, it is, and I just joined it, but I'll cancel at some point before I get billed. I'm going to log out. I just sent you my login information via text, Sharon.
Okay, cool.
And
I'll log in.
see if you can, because it's like, holy crap, there's so much stuff in here, and I don't see anything that's currently live on it.
Now what happened? Is it over? Oh, Lord. Oh, bye, son. Is that really it? Okay, sorry to bore everybody with that. That was, Oh.
Jeez.
Are you kidding? What was that? What? Oh, this is a different... Yeah, see, now let's show old ones that are done with CGI. All right, I'm going to put you guys back over there. Hold on.
Yeah,
Who's
switch to
just playing?
somebody. Oh, I just had something live. Go ahead and switch to me, and I will go here.
Okay, I'm going to go try and log in over here at Slew.
All right. That's interesting. Yeah, so I guess I missed part of that. Was that one of the sample feeds or something you guys were watching?
Well, we were trying to watch the eclipse from 2 days ago, but I don't know. It doesn't look like they ever showed it.
Yeah, it'd be great if we could get something better than what we have as it goes over Australia through the slough. Let's see what we have in the other feed. Oh, that stupid feed again. Yeah, sometimes this is very, very just, it's comedy. It really is. It's so pathetically ridiculous. So I assume you're logged in, Jaron. Is it crazy, all the stuff, all the options they give you?
I've not signed in yet. I was kind of closing my other windows and stuff, but
Oh.
I do remember kind of how to navigate, because I was really trying hard to before, when I had signed up for the trial too. I was trying to get a look at Saturn, which I ended up liking your image that you sent me from your telescope better anyway. Kind of proved what I thought it would look like.
Yeah, it's really not anything spectacular at all. You just get this, it's just this little bitty light with a circle around it.
It
Jupiter
doesn't
is
even look
actually,
like a ball to me, but
yeah, Jupiter's actually more interesting because you see Ganymede and well, the four moons of Jupiter, and it's kind of cool. And you can actually watch them in different positions. You go out at night, and so whatever's happening, they appear to be changing positions. At this point, like I said, I don't believe that the planets are out there, so I have to wonder what exactly is going on with the lights in the sky and what they're supposed to mean. I'm sure the Masons know, but that's just a mystery that has always intrigued me. So it looks like you see a bunch of chemtrails all over the place. At least they either that or they're just really poor cloud renderings. So how long is that? Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead, Matrix.
Sorry, I'm not seeing the the lines. I mean, what I'm looking at, I think I'm looking at there, the so-called cirrus clouds, but I'm not seeing any like zigzag lines, the crosshatch patterns or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes they look like when they disperse a little bit, they learn. So I'm seeing like a lot of lines. They're not crisscross though. You're right. That's a good point. Because they generally either that or they make a great big A in the sky. Here in Denver, when they spray, they actually start out. We're at the northeast corner of the city where I am, and they actually seem to start here. And you can see that they'll make a big X or an A and start there, and then you'll see them go all the way to the southwest in patterns. So. There's very distinctly, and then lately they've been hiding behind the cirrus and the alto cirrus clouds and spraying up there.
All right, I'm lined up. It looks like 13 minutes. I got the screen ready though, so we are good to go, I believe.
Okay. So you found whatever it is you're looking for then, because I had no idea. I've never been on that site.
Yeah, they have a lot of different sections, but one of the sections is live shows, and so it says our next live show begins in 13 minutes and some seconds.
Yeah, saw that.
So I guess this guy Tom Jones in the chat thinks you must work for NASA or something, because he keeps saying different things like this last one. If jeranism doesn't post this footage, you can be sure there's something going on. Like you're purposely not going to post the recording of tonight.
What footage?
Because he's saying that there's some footage when the Earth image was first broadcast on here, and you'll see the smudge on the Earth reflecting off. I don't know.
There's salt.
Just dumb Americans. That's us. Yeah, no planes in the sky. Nothing like that. Yeah, that's amazing. And of course, you would think that at the very least you would see some sort of air traffic, because when they show the ground, you can at least see some sort of ground features. And the clouds also just seem like they're way too close. For being so high up. They're supposed to be what, at 225 miles or something like that.
I thought they were close to 250.
The ISS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the ISS goes between, I think it's 150 miles and 250 miles.
Yeah.
Somehow. And doesn't get sucked into the Earth's with the gravity of the Earth.
Yeah, they're supposed to be around 250 right now.
Does it say that? You can scroll down. It tells you the height.
Yeah. Okay, Google. How high is the ISS?
Let's see. It says altitude 406 kilometers.
249 miles.
And the speed is 27,606 kilometers an hour. Oh wait, I continued to Imperial. 252 miles right now.
Okay, and it's traveling.
Can we already decide to pick one, imperial or metric, and just drop the other one? It's the stupidest thing in the world.
Well, that's just part of the mechanism to confuse people, I think.
Yeah, totally. Did you actually hear NASA actually sent up a spaceship, or a satellite, they said, and lost it because they had accidentally put in the wrong system. They put in the metric when they meant to put in the imperial.
Oh, God.
You know, I think we should be able to see planes. You know, like we see the space station from Earth. You know, when the sun lights up the space station.
Yeah,
Uh,
and the planes are closer to the place to the PlayStation, to the space station,
yeah.
than the space station is to us.
Well, especially above the white clouds,
Yeah.
you should definitely be able to see them.
I think PlayStation was more accurate, TJ.
So the ISS right now is directly below the sun.
It's high noon on the ISS.
So was it? What's the guy's name that did the videos saying what he thought the ISS was?
Joseph Crimera.
Oh,
I
Joseph
know.
Clemera.
No, the other guy that we were just talking about. I forgot his channel name. The guy who had the 500,000 views.
Tiger Dan.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tiger Dan. Now, he thinks. Did you watch the video where he's talking about? He thinks that those people think they're in space.
No, I don't think he said anything about that.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Somebody said they think that the astronauts themselves think they're in space. I said no way.
I'd find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I know people can be fooled, but I don't think those guys think they're in space.
You sure not thinking of that TV show that they were showing in Britain?
No, but he actually used that as an example as to how easy it would be to fool them, and I'm just like, no way.
Have you
I
heard
said,
on
how do they think they're being launched in a rocket there?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Matrix, say again.
on Mark Sargent's show, he mentioned there's a TV show called Ascension. Have you heard of that?
Nope.
No, we don't have. I don't think we have that here.
Is that the one where they fake people going to space?
Yeah. I mean, it's an American TV show.
Oh.
It is.
That supposedly ran for 6 episodes, but you can only see 3 of them online. And the storyline is in the 1960s. They funded this space mission called Ascension, and that supposedly sent out this big, massive spacecraft on a journey to find another planet, another world, and they're supposedly up there for 100 years. 50 years, and it's all fake. It's all being managed, and the people on this spacecraft think they're in space, and they're dealing with all the challenges of space and so on. But it's actually all being staged in some super big warehouse.
It's kind of like
check that out.
It's kind of like a space age Truman Show. It's on Sci-Fi Channel, apparently.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, we're over land. We're coming into Australia.
Oh, switching cameras on that one.
So are you ready, Jaron?
The screen
8
says
minutes.
right. Yeah, the screen has a little countdown clock on it.
Oh, okay. So you're there and ready.
I am ready. I'm heading over to Twitter to say something about space is fake. So that's where I get my kicks. They have that site, Change Tip, Bob, where you can tip people Bitcoin. So I sent Buzz Aldrin a $1 tip and said, I'm handing out tips to everyone who never walked on the moon. He didn't accept it, though. But it sat there for about a month. He must have just kept seeing it. Somebody trying to send him $1.
Land ho! Look at that. That's terrible.
Is that snow all over Australia? What is that?
That's the size of Australia. I mean, come on. Then think of how big this globe would need to be. People need to draw this out, draw yourself a circle that big, and then realize there's a whole other side of the globe.
I tried drawing this circle, and
You can't draw it.
I was trying to do it in Photoshop, and I just...
Yeah, you can't do it. I tried to do it myself.
Yeah.
It's as big as your bedroom. Wherever you're sitting right now, that circle is that big, and then there's still another side to it.
Now, if you look this up in Google Earth, I bet it'll be almost exact.
Oh, man, I just looked at this screen over here, and we were at 7 minutes, 7 seconds. Unbelievable, the
Uh-oh.
sevens.
Dave's going to hear you.
Oh, geez.
Jeez. And I brought it up, too. I could have just let it go, but I brought it up.
Yeah, I got your clickety-clack sevens going.
Listen here, sport. I'm not going to tell you again.
That kind of creeped me out, dude. He like got right up in my ear. Like I had to take my headphones off. Like, what the? Don't get all up in my ear. Yeah, sport. Nobody's ever called me sport my entire life. Listen here, sport.
Pretty crazy. Wow, that is just phenomenal. Phenomenal, I mean.
Is that snow, clouds? What is all that white?
Those are clouds, supposedly. I guess those are like cumulus. Bunch of cumulus clouds. Don't see a lot of like the cirrus ones, which are the higher ones, and the alto cirrus are the higher clouds.
Matrix, do you know anybody that's got a boat or a plane that wants to go traverse the Tropic of Capricorn and then the Tropic of Cancer?
No, I don't.
I think that's the easiest way to know.
Oh, bastards.
Well, you probably should share your screen, Jaron, to make sure that you can get it to work, because I'd hate for the 5 minutes to come and then you can't share your screen.
I'm typing a tweet right now.
Oh, crap, that's right, because he hasn't been able to share his screen.
No, it worked earlier.
Oh, did it?
When we were showing the whatever that was supposed to be.
Right. That's right, yeah.
The
This is kind of
quasi-eclipse.
intermittent.
I'll try and share when we get close to like 2 or 3 minutes here.
Okay.
I just like Twitter because I like to hashtag NASA and hashtag. So everybody who follows NASA has to see my dumb tweet come across. Oh, the things that give me kicks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, hey, we're back.
I'm going to go see if I can see your tweet. Twitter.
Oh, look, all of a sudden the clouds disappeared. Did you see that? It's like they were there 1 second and then they just kind of went away. All right.
Yeah, I think the cameras they use on the space station are really old technology. I mean, these days you've got 8K cameras, and just a magnificent detail. And you'd think they'd send a few of them up there to get the best shots of Earth from space.
It's not like they're short on money.
Yeah. They what are they going to do? They got nearly $1 trillion between the space agencies. You'd think they'd be able to afford an HD cam that stays online.
Or how about just a camera on the moon? Wow.
Did you tag the space station in your tweet as well?
ISS? No, I'm currently writing it as we
It's
speak.
at space_station.
At space_station. All right.
Wow, Australia is just absolutely huge, isn't it? I had no idea.
Oh, what? The hell did we see before?
I don't know. I think we saw like it at a different angle, supposedly.
We're still over Australia. 2 minutes out.
We need Dave Johnson in here to tell Jerry Epstein a thing or two.
Jerry Epstein.
Need your serious face on.
Yep. Known green grass in Australia. They're using a VGA cam. They have to go offline to reinflate the sphere screen. Amazing. Okay, so 1 minute to your live feed, Jaron. You might want to.
I'm almost there.
Okay.
All right, so I
Right.
just sent them all a tweet.
At the ISS.
It's I got NASA, SLU, and the space station, Says getting ready for SLU and the ISS fake in space.
That's funny. I have a Twitter account and I never use it.
Yeah, mine says, come check out Jeranism, where we are watching the fake ISS do something fake with SLU and fake space. Hashtag NASA, hashtag space station, all that fun stuff.
You got 1 minute if it starts at a
Heading back over. Oh no, I got 6 minutes 24 seconds.
8.
Oh wait, they look like they're going live. Maybe I'm gonna try and share.
So what are you in a time warp? I see it. Well, no, I see me. Sorry.
Hold on. We're gonna try here.
Jordan Rain says we're Jerry's kids.
He does call us that.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
No, I'm seeing my screen.
Your
Hold on.
screen is black.
Hold on, it's coming up here.
It now says you're presenting to everyone, but it's a black still.
I see
Now
your
you see it.
mouse.
See your mouse.
You don't see the screen?
Now.
Hold on. You're presenting to everyone. Screen share? Let me do entire screen. I think that's what's happening. I'm trying to pick the actual thing.
Oh, there you go.
There you
See
go.
it now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Live and in concert.
All right.
Because you should have options. You should be able to share like your browser, but your browser name's going to be whatever tab it's on.
Well, what I've noticed is only if I hit share entire screen, like if I try and pick a certain tab, it doesn't work.
Okay.
Well, at least from what I can tell. I'm certainly not claiming to know anything about it. So now they're watching the ISS.
Let's say Will Gator.
I'm going to mute myself and try and listen to what they're talking about here real quick. I don't think I can make everybody hear it. Oh, wait, maybe.
Yes.
See if you guys can hear it.
Yes. I hear it.
It's low, but yeah.
On your screen right now. So as the space station whips around the Earth at something like over 28,000 kilometers an hour, we'll get this beautiful view of our wonderful oasis in the solar system down there, just below in those cameras. Absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. It's spherical.
We here on SLU have teamed up. We have a global feed partner network, and tonight we've teamed up with world-famous astro imager Thierry Legault in France, and we're going to, with his help, try and get a picture of the space station as it flies over France, and hopefully we'll get that. The weather looks a little bit problematic at the moment.
Hey, Jared,
typical SLU.
do you think this is going to be a problem as far as getting you any strikes?
Absolutely not.
Okay, because I
No,
paid for it, or what?
Yeah, I don't think they can. I don't think they can do anything.
Okay. I just thought I'd bring it up. I don't know.
Yeah, good question. I don't know. We're watching it live, so I don't know. I guess that would make a difference. It's not like you can telecast a basketball or game or something live.
What's that
So-
big whirlpool they got going on there?
I don't know. Do you see that on your feed?
Yes,
Oh, you do.
it's on the ISS HD live
I
feed.
don't.
Now, he just said we're going to see it when they go above France. How far are they away from France?
They're a little bit of a ways away from there.
Like
'Cause right
45
now-
minutes, aren't they?
They've got to go back through the United States, South America, and back around, up around Africa, and into Europe.
United States.
Yeah, because right now we're east of Australia, southeast.
Oops. Guess can't do that. Do you want to hear this guy talk? Should I
Sorry,
turn it up again? Or?
Not the United States. We're going southwest of
Hey,
South
look, Bob's
America. We're going to cut straight across.
Yeah, look, Bob Berman. All right. Yeah, let's listen to it.
Okay.
Do we ever get tired of this? I mean,
Yes.
you know, it seems there was an era, maybe in my life and not yours,
I
before
tried joining the conversation, but mine isn't showing.
tentative, the first launch of a satellite, the Russians on
Sputnik.
October 4th, 1957, the first man in space just a few years later.
Oh,
But
shoot.
look where we've
I didn't do
come.
SLU ISS.
You know, the public goes about their jobs, their daily routines, probably doesn't give it too much of a thought, but imagine that. We have a crew that's in space for a full year. It's a deliberate mission lasting a year, and they're orbiting, continually in orbiting, looking down, and we here at SLU can actually participate and enjoy this. You know, switching cameras, you can see what it's saying there, that switching from one camera to the other. Now this is looking straight down. A moment ago, we were looking forward in our orbit. Everything really orbits in the same direction because the space shuttles, the former space shuttle, the current spacecraft that bring both cargo and replacement crews to the ISS all must be launched in the same direction because we want to take advantage of Earth's spin.
Need that extra 1,000.
1,038 miles an hour, if I may use miles an hour for our American audience. And so that gives us
What do you
an
say
extra
for speed?
boost in
That they all go the
speed.
same direction because they need the extra boost. Because when you're going 24,000 miles per hour, 24,000, you need that extra 1,000.
Spacecraft motion, and we're launching the same way. All satellites are launched. Some are in polar orbit. None go backwards, though. Anyway, we're looking straight down now from the
That's handy to know.
mountain range. You know, how can you ever get tired of this?
Are you kidding me?
Down on Earth from 250 miles up, and however many kilometers it is. You know, you can provide the kilometers. You're Will,
Yeah, it's
and
about,
I'll do the miles part of it. How's that?
As I understand it, the ISS orbits at about 400 kilometers altitude. So that's pretty
Yeah,
high.
comment on this
But,
picture.
these remarkable images and something you
Remarkable images. Do you ever get tired of this white circle?
You guys see me?
Like the space shuttle,
Yeah, I do see you.
flew up until only just a few years ago, and now when we have these astronauts
Say something funny.
taking pictures from the International Space Station, do you think that has effect on us as humanity?
It's a portion of humanity. You know, if I were to be honest about it, I'd say that, you know, there's a curve of people who shrug their shoulders. They've already gotten the idea that, okay, there's a continual presence in space now, on board a platform, you know, a space station.
Right.
How do we ever get used to that? I'm sorry, you know, I'm going to backtrack. A space station that's continually
I should have a new one, a new message coming up.
human beings from a multitude of countries. But nonetheless, many people are not aware of it. You know, very few people, I think, could name the astronauts or name what they're doing, or were aware of the each space shuttle crew, despite the danger. You know, people who attend NASCAR races here in the United States,
Where they wear helmets.
no secret, largely because it's dangerous and the crashes morbidly hold some of the appeal. Yet even when the space shuttles were launched, and one out of every 74 launches blew up, you'd think that at least would hold people's interest, you know, knowing that anything.
Yes, there it is. There's my message.
Because astronauts are brave people. This is not like taking
Faking space with
shuttle
a
from,
space
Washington
station.
or a shuttle bus. You know, we use the word shuttle, but these are enormously brave people who are doing this and pioneering people. Yet, despite that, yeah, a certain percentage of the public pays attention, and many do not.
It's something you actually said there. We were talking about the space shuttle. Of course, now the space shuttle has been retired. NASA astronauts, you know, astronauts from around the world, they get to the space station in a different way, don't they? In fact, we can get a hint of it just in the top right.
Currently it's Russian.
Come on, TJ, troll them some more.
Craft.
Yeah, something else funny.
Have been very, very reliable. Unfortunately, despite all the political jockeying back and forth and the ebb and flow of
Ask them where stars are.
sides that make relationships between our countries, you know, wax and wane. Despite that, the missions, the space missions, continue on cooperatively. Thank goodness. And that's how we're doing it. Simultaneously, it's no secret that private space companies are working furiously in the
I guarantee there's 8 people watching this.
the capability. They've already successfully launched cargo replacement.
You notice how many ISS tweets are coming by? You and the alien guy.
Mishaps, as you know, with those. So I think we're not really ready to put live human beings quite yet. Maybe in a few years, but not quite ready to put them on board private.
Yeah, not after what we just saw.
Shuttles.
Yeah, okay, so
Morpheus.
The space station. So we're going to use
the chat's asking for a
capabilities.
serious question. What did Morpheus say?
Well, on that thought, we'll
Morpheus favored in my tweets.
live.
He's Morpheus is in our YouTube chat.
Commercial break now, but when we come back, Bob is going to be speaking to you. He actually recorded an interview just a few days ago.
Should have another message coming here shortly.
Working on the Year in Space mission, and that's Dr. John Charles from NASA's Human Research Program. And so we're going to have that interview shortly, but we're going to go to a quick 30-second commercial break, and then Bob will be speaking to Dr. John Charles. See you in a bit.
There it is.
Stars.
I misspelled that.
Spelling mistake.
Oh, did we just
Turn
go
this down
nighttime?
for a second. Okay, quiet down. Relax.
Yeah, here we come on the night side.
Should I flip back to you for a second? They don't look like they're doing anything exciting for a few minutes.
Okay, sure, why not?
Let me see if I can get this done over here.
Yeah, here
Oh,
comes the
great.
Terminator. The Dominator. You notice, TJ, when if you make a comment in the live ISS feed, it says please. It gives you like a 15 or 10-15 second, delay time, and it says please stand by. It's almost like the moderators are evaluating it before they let it go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have to wonder.
I don't think I've ever commented there. No, I did once, but that was a while ago.
That's a nice tweet you have there, the blah, 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 blah. So what hashtag do I have to use?
It's slew ISS.
Huh? Please wait. 3, 2, 1. Just see if anybody responds to my question here. Oh, like it's getting darker and darker. It's funny that they increment the darkness down, in steps instead of having just this gradual dimming effect like you'd expect. Suddenly it'll be just 3 shades darker, just like that, and then it'll stay that way. Oh, and then it'll lighten up just like it just did there.
Every single time.
Oh, and then it goes darker again.
Yeah, when I see the Earth supposedly in darkness from the ISS on their feed, you never seem to see the lights of cities or anything like that.
Never. You don't, and yet you can go back to some of the supposedly pre-recorded material, and you can play that back, and then they'll show just all kinds of city lights, and they'll show lightning strikes all over the place. But I have I've been watching this for well over a year, and I have not one time seen the city lights at night or the lightning strikes at night. Have you ever, Matrix?
No, never.
Yeah.
We don't ever see any moonlight lighting up the Earth either, because sometimes the moonlight's pretty bright, not exactly the same as the sun, but sometimes it gets really bright.
Hi, Matrix. It's Melissa.
Hey, Melissa, how are you doing?
Good. Sorry, Jern told me you said hi to me and I wasn't here, so I just wanted to say hi back.
Cool.
I see your
All right.
comment, Bob. Where's the parallax?
You're just now seeing that? Oh, yeah, I guess it's still sitting there, isn't it? 1 minute ago. So see if you can respond, TJ, or see how long it takes to actually come through.
I don't I don't even think I'm logged into this.
Oh my God! Look at the lights go on and off.
Even though the lights are going on and off, still got that bright spot on the gold foil.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. What is that? A big zipper? Look at the solar panel. It looks like a big zipper.
Oh.
Flicker light, flicker light.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting view. Have we had this exact view before? It seems like we're getting a little more of the backside, where the Mr. Hankey module is docked.
This guy's got his shirt off. I gotta swear, what is he doing? Somebody's exercising in space with their shirt off.
Where are you seeing that?
I don't know.
I'm over still on the slew thing.
Oh, okay. Are we still on a commercial or?
No, there's some Dr. John Charles is talking. You guys want to come back over here?
Sure. Might as well. It's more exciting than this.
Hello. Share.
And then I'll stop my share. Okay.
I'm gonna turn the volume up for you.
All right.
This is the first mission that investigation has been on. We are now approaching the second in-flight data collection session. The first one was earlier in June. The next one is going to be at the end of this week. Understand how those body fluids are distributed in the body, not just for academic and intellectual purposes, but because
You can tell there's no moderator on our tweets on this channel.
That's related to changes in visual acuity, and that change in the shape of the eyeball. Believe it or not, the back of the eye is pushing against the eyeball, pushing sort of compressed, as if there is pressure inside the skull pushing against the eyeball, pushing along the optic nerve and toward the back.
Oh, what happened?
What it does is shorten the eyeball, making the eyeball less able to focus, and it's as if the astronauts' eyes are suddenly several decades older. They have presbyopia. They are
Is there any more
not nearsighted.
that could tell us, get out of space, you don't belong here?
Yeah.
If there's a fluid redistribution, perhaps this lower body negative pressure technique.
See, they're doing all those tests. I forget what those things are called, but I mean, how much exposure are they getting to those medical equipment that's sending like radiation into their body?
You've got one twin on the ground, one twin participating, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're doing the twin stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have seen the clues form right up on that. Basically, they came up with all kinds of phony pictures that were clearly photoshopped, showing the Kelly twins as little boys, and they are so badly done, it's absolutely beyond belief.
Really?
Oh God, it's horrible.
We got another tweet from someone following our from Matt Ross. Is that Ross?
Nice.
Rosa?
All right, Matt. We're just overtaking this slew.
We are. Oh, this is fun. I'll probably get my account revoked tomorrow for this, but
Well, they have no idea it's us, because we're tweeting from our tweeting accounts.
Yeah, well, that's true, huh?
In addition to the investigators who were already working on experiments on the one-year mission, we went out and solicited and found a group that added up to 10 investigators who were specifically interested in the questions.
Does it bother you that all the challengers
one in space and the other on the ground? This is important for a sort of an obtuse reason. The reason is that in biology, we are very concerned about individual variability. You and I.
How is this helping anybody on Earth? We live over here.
If we went to the doctor and got our various parameters measured, there would be differences between us. Are those differences related to the fact that we are living in different environments? Are they related to the fact that we're not related? Are they related to the fact that we're different ages? Things like that. We have to collect in biology, we have to collect lots of data on lots of individual subjects and let those individual variations average out.
I guarantee you the weather will be bad and they won't be able to do this.
Space flight and on the ground. If you
It's all set up to take Bob's money.
Yep, absolutely.
Some of the variability will
Oh,
naturally
that's okay. I'm still in the trial.
Mark on the ground.
Don't forget.
I won't.
They'll charge you.
No, I know they will. They're counting on it, in fact.
Better chance. We have higher confidence that what we're measuring is actually related to the fact that one is in space and one is on the ground.
When you talk about areas to be concerned about, I keep thinking about Shannon Lucid's famous comments, her concerns about radiation.
Radiation, tell us about it.
The radiation flux on the International Space Station is quite a bit lower than what astronauts would be subjected to en route to the moon, on the moon, especially in the Martian
just ate a turd.
So I guess a two-part question. One, is there any way you can factor?
Come on back.
Pigs in flat space. Oh, there's my comment.
What happened?
They spotted you, kicked you out.
Bob's in trouble.
Yeah.
Revoked.
Yeah, I would think you do.
It's coming from the same IP address they caught us.
Oh, weird. Maybe you should try hitting refresh on it.
Will that do anything to the share? Try it.
It shouldn't. You're just refreshing that page, so it shouldn't.
Get rid of this download this thing here.
Oh, got stuck on the shot of those people exiting the space station.
Exiting the space station?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
Hello.
So, Jaron, if you flip over to my screen for a second.
Okay, let me go over there. Hey.
All right. So what we're seeing here is these are some of the photoshopped things of the Kelly twins. And it's so funny because look how big the head is on this one as compared to this one. Look how absolutely proportionate the bodies are. And then I'll scroll down here. This is them. What is that?
I don't know. Is it Mike coming from me? Oh, it's a commercial.
Yeah, okay.
Let me turn it.
Okay. And then so here's the Kelly twins with their mother, and notice the clock over here about ready to fall off the edge of the mantle. And of course, when you take these apart, this is crazy. So, what do they say about it? Why is the 8:39 clock hanging over the mantelpiece? So Mrs. Kelly's head has achieved nominally geostationary orbit over her body. Look at her head. It looks like it was just pasted there.
This is a very strange picture.
Yes, it is. It's a bizarre picture.
Her head is way too small.
Yeah. And then look at the size of this guy's head. I mean, that just kills me. It's completely disproportionate. Let me back this down just a bit. The shadows are all wonky too. Yeah, actually they are. Look at the shadows casting different directions on them. That's real.
Look at the nose shadow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where's the shadow for this lady or back here? And I'm sure if somebody downloaded these and ran them through a Photoshop, they would find these to be absolutely pasted in. Let's see.
And who are these people?
These are the Kelly twins as kids.
I don't know who the Kellys are.
The astronauts, Scott Kelly and Mark Kelly, is that the other one? These are them as children, supposedly. And so they, when they started this scam, basically about them being, twins, identical twins, all of a sudden there was a slew of fake photographs that were clearly photoshopped. I mean, this is so ridiculous, it's beyond belief. her head. That just looks so crazy. Let me back up a little bit. But yeah, this is an excellent thread, by the way. Faker in the orbit, the ISS.
Yeah,
It just,
I looked through every was it like 80 something pages? I looked through every single one.
yeah.
I didn't read it all because that's a lot of pages, but I watched a bunch of videos and especially going through that, and it's just that's why I think they really are doing just wires and everything.
Yeah. Matrix, do you read Clues Forum at all?
I have a bit. I think they have some interesting stuff on there. I don't agree with their take on 9/11 and Simon Shack's idea and theory on 9/11.
Really?
I could elaborate on that.
Sure. I'd be interested in hearing that. What part specifically?
Well, they say that all of the photographs and video evidence from 9/11 is fake, and the evidence they use, the photographs they use to show that, I feel are really bad. It's really just the worst evidence I've seen. I agree with the idea that there were no planes on 9/11. But that's as much as I agree with them on their whole 9/11 take. They use I personally believe in the directed energy weapon, Dr. Julie Wood's work. I think it's very comprehensive, and the photos that they use to try and debunk her, I think are terrible. I mean, I can't believe that anyone can not see the problems with their photographs. And on the main page, Simon Shack states that he believes that it was a 3-staged controlled demolition. So they brought the building down in 3 stages, the towers, and behind the smoke screen. Yet his whole, he has zero evidence to support that, because apparently, according to him, all the photos and video were faked. So I mean, I think he debunks himself on his opening statement page. I mean, if people go to the site and look at how he tries to debunk Julie Wood's work and the poor photos he uses there, it's just terrible. And so I think he discredits himself by making the claim that he has this theory that it was brought down in 3 stages behind this smoke screen. Yet he has no proof to back that up. And he's supposed to be all about proof, and so.
Oh, that's interesting. So, I assume then you've also seen the movie September Clues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think about like the stuff that they were showing, like when the nose of the plane went through the tower and actually popped out the other side, and then they popped up that banner to kind of show that. That to me looked like it was very much CGI. Of those particular sequences anyway.
Yeah, the whole nose out image. I mean, there's no way that an aluminium plane can pierce reinforced steel and concrete structure.
Exactly.
Like cuts through it like butter, and goes through several different floors as well. So you've got the floors to deal with. It's not like it's going through one floor, through one window. It cuts through several different floors. It's completely impossible. I mean, to use, I don't like to use Einstein, but he's the idea about Newton's, not Einstein, Newton, his third law of opposing forces and impact dynamics. I mean, it just goes completely against their whole claims, and yes.
Absolutely. Oh, I agree 100%. I just, I think what I meant was how they make that claim that this was CGI'd in, and that I totally agree with. Now, as far as the Dr. Judy Woods and the directed energy weapons, the thing that makes me actually, tend to think that that's legitimate to some degree is the cars in the parking lots that were, essentially incinerated.
Yeah, the toasted cars, yeah.
Yeah, that I could never figure out. It's like, wow, that's kind of scary. And if they actually have that type of technology where they can, use a directed energy beam. First of all, where would it have come from? I mean, we're going on the assumption that there are no satellites in space, so that just makes me wonder about that. There's a lot of things that are unanswered. I agree. So I think I see your point by what you're saying about that. I think there was very definitely some exotic weaponry used, in addition to thermate.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not too. I don't really agree with the whole thermate thing. I think it's a possibility. I think it's a definite possibility that there were some explosives used. But I mean, I made a 15-minute video about it called "Directed Energy 9/11 Directed Energy Weapons, No Planes," and in one of the first few, I mean, I searched online. I mean, I've looked at 9/11 for years and looking at for all kinds of video evidence and stuff. And one of the first clips that I use is where you see Tower 2 completely missing, completely, no debris pile, no pancaking, nothing there, just a couple of 3 bits of metal sticking out the ground. And in the same shot, it pans up and you still see Tower 1, standing with on fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the building's completely missing, and there's several bits of video like that I include in my video. The big hole in building 6, there's various other holes that seem to have been drilled out. If you would like, can imagine some kind of laser, whatever technology they've used here. I mean, this it just all leans towards points towards directed energy weapons, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about like the core columns that were cut at those appear to be like about a 60-degree angle, which is a typical demolition tactic? And then what was it, Professor? Oh, I forgot the Brigham Young professor's name that was saying that when they tested it, there was actually thermate that was present on those.
Was that Jones?
Yeah, Jones. That's right, Stephen Jones.
Yeah, well, those cut beams, I heard that they were done afterwards to help remove remove the site, remove the steel. And as for the thermite being in the dust and all that, well, the towers themselves are made of the similar materials to thermite when dustified. So like you've got aluminium cladding that becomes aluminium oxide. These are the ingredients within thermite. So, I'm very skeptical of that. I personally believe architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth are a limited hangout, and they keep you focused on building 7 only, really mostly building 7, and they don't talk about any other aspects of 9/11.
Yeah, that's true. That's very interesting. Well, that is a take that is kind of new to me. And you said you've done some videos on this, huh?
Yeah, I've done one video. I tried to put as much as I could in within 15-minute video to make it digestible, so people didn't have the excuse of saying, "Oh, it's too long to watch it." I made it for my friends, really, and I cover the dustification and the no planes aspect.
Huh. Very interesting. I'm going to have to go over and check out that video for sure, because I mean, every time I turn around, it seems like there's something new coming up about the case. The thing that I found fascinating about September Clues is the way Simon showed the camera trickery and also the multiple feeds, being set up and mastered from the Fox News chopper and all that stuff. All that stuff's pretty undeniable. But as far as the discrediting of Dr. Judy was, I kind of glazed over that but I had a hard time understanding that considering the evidence in the parking lots. I mean, there was something that was beyond what we've been told in controlled demolition on that. So very, very, very good possibility.
Yeah, there was also a fire truck, the back end of it completely melted. And cars flipped upside down, and not just that parking lot, but cars all around, and it didn't seem to be obviously jet fuel would disappear. If it was set on fire, it would disappear instantly, and so then you're just left with a fire, and obviously that can't melt steel beams and any of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, the toasted cars are a big indicator as well. I mean, but the whole building was turned to fine dust. I mean, the buildings.
Oh, it was pulverized.
Yeah, I mean, and there was nothing left.
Yeah.
So I mean, thermite can't do that. Nuclear devices can't do that. I mean, also in my video, I've had high definition video footage, which it's hard. I'll get into why they wouldn't bother faking any of this stuff afterwards. But I have high definition video footage of the towers, slow motion.
Let me switch to the. Let me switch on the volume here because it looks like they're looking at something.
Oh, okay.
Because the ISS, when it makes a pass over your house, it starts nice and slow, but then it starts speeding up until when it's going overhead, it's going incredibly fast. So to track it,
if that's ISS, how are they tracking that?
footage of it like this is
What a
really
joke.
one of the most difficult things you can do with a telescope.
And for people who perhaps have never even seen the space station, what does it look like to the eye?
Well, it depends. If you're looking through a telescope, that's a very good shot, but it's very rare, as I say, to be able to see it through a telescope. But there are. It's very easy to
That's
see
a bug.
with your naked eye as it makes a pass.
How
over
come?
the top of you. And some people get a bit confused. Is it an aeroplane? Is it a meteor? Is it the ISS? Well, there's some easy ways to tell. An aircraft.
Wait a second. What just happened?
That's just a camera view that out of the telescope.
Oh.
And you can kind of almost feel its altitude. Meteors
You can almost feel it.
I can feel that altitude.
But the ISS appears as a small white dot.
How come white dot?
Close to the horizon when you first see it, and you think, is it a star? Is that moving? And it's moving very slowly.
I just tagged you and Katie the astronaut in a message.
Suddenly it starts speeding up until it goes over, flies over your head maybe, or in this shot, this is actually from the Slough Observatory in the Canary Islands, and this is what it looks like on a long exposure photograph. So as you can see here, it started. You can see where it started, and it's bright enough even to withstand the bright moonlight. But you don't see it as a streak like that. You see it as a point of light moving across the sky.
Yeah, why?
It's beautiful. There's a lovely picture actually of the ISS against the Milky Way there. For people who would like to see the space station, I wonder if we can go back to that track that we can actually see the space station going over, because it must be approaching. It's approaching.
Yes, we're going to.
As we speak in the next few minutes.
Matthew just put hashtag Team GLOBEBUSTERS.
I love it.
How can people find out when the space station is coming over their location and when it's visible?
Well, that's the whole trick. To actually see it, you've got to know when it's going to be making a pass. And probably the best way of doing that is to use NASA's own website. It's called Spot the Station.
We've completely overtaken the ISS feed on Twitter. That's all of our tweets.
It will tell you when the next passes.
Bunch of us.
When the ISS is going to fly over your particular
Yeah,
location.
half the chat groups over there, I think.
I got booted because I've done 2 or 3 tweets and they don't show up anymore.
They will email you when the ISS is going to be passing over your location.
Probably the one that says, I want to lie to people and shit in a tube. Where do I sign up to be an asshole? I mean an astronaut. Hashtag NASA. I guess that didn't go over well.
No, I bet it didn't.
Here in space.
Remember my tactic?
Fantastic. Well, make sure you bookmark, if you're watching, make sure you book that website, because even if it's cloudy, wherever you are, I know it's cloudy, I'm looking out my window, I think it's just started raining here in the UK, so I'm not going to see the space station, but you might, so do have a go. It is a really, as Paul says, it's a fantastic thing to see. It's really quite special seeing this bright light sailing over and knowing that there are astronauts on it, and from what Katie said in Katie Coleman, NASA astronaut, said in an earlier interview, the astronauts are looking back, so I think it's
tracking at 17,000 miles per hour.
I know, seriously, that thing is so fast.
Thanks, Paul, very much.
I've seen the supposed ISS go across the sky, and that thing, even though it's 250 miles away, that thing
So this
It's
is
quick.
Where are the rest of the solar arrays? There's only 2.
And he then processes.
I think they got rid of the other ones for the show.
Incredibly detailed images of the space station.
Yeah, they have to be processed.
Oh, April 2010. Maybe they've added a few more on. I haven't followed the construction of the ISS, but
No, it's an absolutely incredible achievement. He managed to get that detail from sort of.
it's amazing they have to use a 5-year-old amateur Photoshop if it's
I
so
know, like
prevalent.
that's supposed to impress us.
Yeah.
We really want to do this. It'll be a world first if we can achieve it and get the ISS at high magnification.
Yet if you ask a globe believer, they'll act like you can look in any old telescope and just see the ISS every night. And these guys are like, if we do get a chance to see it, it'll be the first time in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my message.
TJ, you're going to get banned for that one.
Yeah, you're done now. I can't believe mine. I'm going to complain. Mine should have been allowed.
Morpheus looks like a Klingon bird. Klingon bird of prey. Blowfly of prey. The Klingon bird of prey, yes.
Sun salutation?
Blue sun sight. What the? They were having the mega harvest moon eclipse.
How long is your little trial for? A week or a month?
I don't know. I think it's a couple weeks or something like that. I mean, I don't mind spending $14 if we want to keep it. You know.
Oh no, I want to watch. I mean, I want to watch the eclipse from outside. But I just saw they were doing the eclipse.
Oh well, I'll keep it for a month. No worries.
Humans are going to be in the next few decades. Paul, thanks for speaking to us.
Thanks, Paul.
After the commercial break.
Paul Cox. Oh, don't tell me you're related to Spherical.
Yeah, I love your impression, Kevin. Of Brian Cox.
Yes, the crying box. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I do an OK Sagan too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the music. I gotta turn that down. I can't hear that. They have a commercial every 15 seconds.
Yeah, advertisements.
Can you make sure you give me admin permissions? Because I'm not able to boot anybody. It says I'm a moderator, but I can't kick anyone.
Tell Bob who you want to kick because I don't even have YouTube open.
Oh.
This
Bob,
looks real.
See if you can get rid of Island Online News.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
And Cognitive Dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance. Oh, sorry, I'll turn this back up.
Nope. Oops. I cannot.
Yeah, so I can't either. I don't know what the deal is.
Distance from, let's say, New York City to Washington, D.C. We're talking about 250 miles, if you're used to it in miles, 400 kilometers. And, yes, wonderful. Continually...
I'll see if I can do it for myself.
And the presence, the fact that there is a human presence in a very complex laboratory circling the Earth at all times, fantastic.
I suppose many people who might be watching, they might remember the Apollo missions when we went.
We might remember them.
Do you think we haven't
What video are they watching right now? Who's taking that shot?
Why do you think that is?
He's going to say why they don't go back to the moon.
There's a huge difference in cost and in risk.
Sure there is.
You'll recall that the Apollo 13 people barely made it back.
So that's why we went on 14, 16, 17.
17 crew missed being treated to what could have been a fatal dose of radiation by a month. This wasn't well known to the public, but there was a huge coronal mass ejection, huge solar flare. These are risky things. These are brave people that embark on these.
Heroes.
Every one of those Apollo landings, there were 6 successful landings, a dozen people who walked on the moon.
There they are, Steve, coming out of the space station.
Nixon figured,
yeah, imagine that. The president during the Apollo missions was all Nixon, who was the only president to ever be impeached for lying. and people
all
think
got
we
back
went to the moon.
safely. It's been nothing but 100% success. Let's just stop it there. So if we go back, we're back into the higher risk. Earth orbit is still risky, where the International Space Station orbits, but the moon ramps it up, and Mars, where it would take half a year to just retrieve somebody, and you couldn't just retrieve them whenever you wanted. The Earth and
Gotta
Mars
get Buzz's plan.
must be aligned, which happens every 26 months. And Dr. Charles mentioned one of the long-term risks is not having medical care. Sure, you can have a physician along, but you don't have facilities with CAT scans or advanced neurosurgery. Or, we just had a few years ago a woman in Antarctica who suffered from breast cancer.
What's up with that red glow?
She's a physician herself, and
They're just showing a bunch of pictures that are 10 years old.
In the wintertime because you just can't land there. It's in pitch blackness. As a matter of fact, some brave people staged an earlier than normal rescue mission to get her back, but that just showed that was right here on Earth. So you can imagine that Mars has its own perils. Nonetheless, it seems in the cards that we're going to go.
We're going to Mars, guys.
I really enjoyed your interview.
Sure we are.
Dr. John Chaucer, and he was talking about the fact.
I suggest you don't hold your breath.
To go back to Mars. What do you think are some of those hurdles that we have to get over?
Well, that's one. The psychological hurdle is another. Radiation. Shannon Lucid, the longest ever duration astronaut in space who was a woman, U.S. astronaut, keeps expressing her fears of radiation. And the RAD experiment on Mars just recently showed us that it should be feared. Just going to Mars.
Did they say rat? The rat experiment?
Astronauts about
yeah, I'm sure the rats lived over there.
20 CAT scans. In fact, if we were to keep the same standards that we do for radiation workers, people who work at power plants, we could not send anyone to Mars because it would exceed that. When you go in space, you get more radiation. Once you get to Mars, the body of the planet blocks half the radiation because it doesn't come through the planet. When you're in space, it comes from all directions, from
all directions
beyond the solar system. Then you have solar discharges, coronal mass ejections that could actually produce a very
if it comes from all directions, how would it matter if you're on the other side of Mars? Stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Serious issues. We'll probably go anyway. And we were discussing with him the idea, and we didn't air this part of it, of a one-way mission. That's an intriguing idea. We understand the Chinese are discussing this, and that is to send somebody, maybe someone with serious credit card debt, who wouldn't mind just saying goodbye to
the US
to all their creditors, just sending
Obama
and not bringing them back, because the idea is look at the pilgrims, look at the people.
Morpheus just said that stop showing CGI if we know you made it in Blender 3D.
Okay, I blocked Island on 9 News.
One way to the new world.
How did you do that?
It just started working. I don't know. It worked, so I blocked him. Who else?
Radiation protection, and the idea is
cognitive dissonance.
Say 4 years, 6 years. We hope to bring you back in a future.
Are you guys going to do something?
And Mars, which occurs every 26 months, but we're not going to bring you right back. Then, if we did it that way, we could cut the development time probably in half, because then you don't need the complexity, the difficulty.
Oh, there we go. I just refreshed, and now I have.
If we're willing to do it that way, we probably could send someone
admin rights.
to Mars in
He's blocked.
10 or 12 years. We'll see if it actually
Okay.
happens that way.
They're gone.
In the U.S., we put human safety first. So NASA is not thinking along those lines. Perhaps the Chinese are.
Wait, did he say NASA is not faking something, but perhaps the Chinese are?
No, not thinking along those lines.
Oh. Wait, did he? What did he just say?
Mars, you have that sort of tenuous atmosphere.
I watched this one video where someone was showing
Yes. Well, the moon has no
how
atmosphere.
the Chinese were faking it,
Mars has
and one of these Chinese astronauts had a mirror on his wrist,
almost entirely
wearing it like a
carbon dioxide.
watch,
You still
and you
can't
could see
breathe
the
it.
lights
However, the good thing about
from the
Mars is
ceiling
it's got a soil
in
chemistry
the
where
in the
copious
mirror.
oxygen is mixed in
And
with
I was
ozone.
watching
You can
some of the
almost
polls
still anything
that
on Mars.
NASA
You get
uses, and they use the same exact lights in their ceiling.
create the oxygen you need while
Too bad that they don't wear
you're
mirrors.
there. It can also create the water you need while you're there. So it does have some of those raw ingredients. However, if you do go to Earth by the easiest orbit, the one that gets the greatest payload to Mars, it's about a 9-month trip. And 9 months back, that's a year and a half in space. That's a lot of radiation, and that's a long duration travel time. If you go by a faster route than that, Hohmann transfer orbit that we were just discussing, for example, if you have a plasma propulsion or some other much faster propulsion means we can probably get astronauts there in 6 months. Still a long trip. The moon is only 3 days. And if something went wrong,
not if you just go up into orbit and wait for it to come to you.
Astronauts in only 3 days, as opposed to, at minimum, 6 months from Mars. And even then, you can't just decide you're going to pick up and go one day. The lineup has to be favorable with the two worlds, Mars and Earth. So, yes, much more difficult.
How do you think we'll actually achieve a mission like that? Do you think it will be through international cooperation or a mixture of sort of space agencies and private commercial sort of space flight doing it? Because the moon missions, Apollo, that was not just a great investment in time, resources, but also money too. So how do you reckon we'll go about actually visiting Mars?
It's true, and a lot of money. The lunar rocks, it wound up costing $28,000 a pound. For I believe it was 740 pounds, something like that, almost around 800 pounds of lunar rocks. Here would be much, much more costly. The ideal thing would be to share it with other countries. I would love to see Russia and the United States and European countries get involved in a joint enterprise. That would be great, and it would foster the idea of international spirit. However, if it must be done alone, the U.S. certainly could do it with a combination of perhaps public and private, both finance.
Well, this photograph that they're showing, where photographing ISS over Earth and it's flipping around, you can see it better than that with your naked eye. It's a terrible telescope.
Pretty much, people are speaking of the 2030s.
You're being facetious, right?
No, not at all.
See, the funny thing is that's a black sky, so it's got to be nighttime, and that thing is not even glowing like we see it.
Yeah, that's what
it doesn't
I'm
make
saying.
any sense. What are they seeing? It doesn't look like that in the night sky. It looks like a star.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like brighter than Venus even.
Would you guys say that the stars are more blinky lately?
Oh, I haven't noticed.
No, I think they're more bozo.
Oh, I think they're more blinky.
Oh, okay.
No, it just seems like the last month or two, they've been super blinky and many colors: red, blue, green. Pretty cool.
Well, it's probably because of all the crap they're spraying in the air, and it's just causing, it's giving the atmosphere a little more lensing effect or something, and you're seeing more diffusion, or not diffusion, but a prism effect.
Atmospheric refraction.
Yes, indeed.
We're dancing souls because stars are souls.
Yep. Somebody says I smoke space rock cocaine.
No, I think they were talking about Bob Berman.
Nice.
I don't know.
Oh, Bob Berman. Okay. It's like, nope, never smoked cocaine.
This video of the ISS looks like that old video that came out of the UFO, and they did analysis on it, and someone created this miniature UFO and put it on like a piece of glass or a piece of plastic and was moving it around in front of the camera, faking the whole thing. That's what this looks like.
Yeah.
How close are we to France before I slip my wrists?
We should be pretty close now. Yeah, we're just off the shores of the UK right now.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn it back up.
Okay.
Very carefully. These are people that are more than just compatible. They are. They have personalities that can allow that kind of thing. That can maybe even thrive in that kind of environment. People who don't just have to step out and go stir crazy if they can't go out to a movie once.
And the ISS is lit up as well.
People for a long, long time, and that's part of what NASA's looking into. They're not ignorant of this, and it's
they're
one
just
of
ignorant.
the serious inquiries in the preparation for going to Mars. NASA's serious about going to
They're
Mars.
serious.
That's why I'm
We're going to go to
saying
Mars. We've been talking about it for 45 years. We're thinking about it now.
off the date. It will eventually happen. You can feel it. It's our collective destiny. It's
Just like you can feel the
not just
altitude.
been a sci-fi for so many decades now. You can almost feel that. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do by default, because there's no place else. Mercury
Go ahead,
is
eat that turd.
roiling hot.
Oh,
Venus
yeah,
is
there you
way
go.
too
No,
hot.
but
It's the
Buzz
hottest
Aldrin
planet.
says we can go to
And then
Venus.
beyond Mars, the planets don't have surfaces. You can try to land in
Planets don't have surfaces, but they're spherical.
atmospheres of poisonous methane and ammonia. So by default, Mars is the place to go. It's the only sort of Earth-like place, unless you include perhaps
Where your
some
bones will
moons in
degrade
the
and you'll
solar system.
die
They're
within a
not very Earth-like
month.
either.
That's a good point, actually.
What was
I
that?
was just going to bring that up. If you personally had a chance to maybe visit somewhere in the solar system, in maybe, I don't know, 50, 60 years' time, where would you go if you had, say, an amazing spaceship like the ones in the movie?
Well, if I could go anywhere, like many others, I would love to have a craft that was capable of drilling or burning its way through the perhaps mile-thick ice of Jupiter's second, from inward going outward, Galilean satellite Europa, and explore the oceans there.
That sounds like a vacation I want to go on.
I mean, the oceans, this is warm, salty water, so absolutely suitable for some scuba diving. But of course, we're not going to do that. We're not going to first send a person there. We're going to send equipment there to see what, if anything, is swimming or floating in the seas. Life started in Earth's oceans, and here is a similar ocean that, like Earth's, has been subjected
Similar
to
ocean?
atomic bombardment.
How far away is it from the damn sun?
That have all the amino acids on them.
Oh boy.
Hitting these warm, energy-laden, saltwater oceans for billions of years. So
Yeah, you know
it's not
that.
a question of if there's life. It would be more puzzling if there's not life.
Oh
there.
boy.
So if your goal is to find some juicy.
So we also taking over the live ISS stream.
You mentioned sending a probe to go ahead of your Europa mission, and it brings up an interesting point. I think. What do you think the role is of unmanned, sort of crewed planetary probes, things like Cassini?
That's all you should do.
Maybe some of the lunar missions. What do you think their role is in human spaceflight?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? As Dr. Charles pointed out, he's gung-ho on sending people, and I totally get that, because some of our emissaries, you and I aren't going to go, Will, but if some of our representative humans, just
Freemasons,
we had 6 people on the moon, can set foot in some of these places, and we know.
Did he say 6 people on the
there,
moon?
That's not just romantic.
It's more than
it's
6
not just
people.
scientifically useful, but it's amazing. It's an amazing accomplishment that we'll all feel good about. On the other hand, you can do so much more with a robotic probe. You don't have to worry about feeding a robot, bringing them back. It's a tiny fraction of the cost, and robots have proven.
Look at those guys in the background all wearing masks.
In visiting all of the planets, now that we can even include the dwarf planet Pluto, every one of the planets and dwarf planets, we've had the Rosetta mission, even to comets. We're visiting comets. The capabilities now, we've seen exquisite high-definition videos back, and lots
Is that
of
Dr. Evil?
information, and even spectroscopic
It looked like it, didn't it?
drilled into and analyzed. So what
We
robots
should
have
steal $1
accomplished is
billion.
There are many who are saying,
$1 billion.
when we can send 10 sophisticated robotic missions across the solar system.
How close are we to France?
For everyone,
I come from France.
human
Oh,
I think we're over it, or starting to pass it, right?
Yeah,
What the
and
hell?
we're coming into daylight, so let's
These
see.
guys understand live?
romantic feeling of heading outward and exploring. It's in us. You know, when we were kids, we explored the attic, we
Yeah, that's on Earth.
Explore the neighborhood by bicycle. And
On Earth.
some of us, as we got older and older, put on backpacks and explore in other countries.
On Earth.
We want to check out new things.
On Earth.
The more mysterious, the better. You know, if there was a trunk in the attic, and somebody said, "Oh yeah, that's Aunt Lucy's chest in there.
What?
We don't know what's inside of it. It's locked. She told us never to look in it." You know, it would drive us crazy because then it would be a mystery. We'd have to know what was inside that. Well, it's the same thing. We've got to know what's under the ice of Europa. We've got to know what's under the surface of Mars. We have to explore the solar system. We can feel it within ourselves. So
No, we don't feel
that's
it.
our destiny.
It's not ardent.
It's a lovely sentiment. It's been amazing talking to you, Bob. It's been fascinating to see these live pictures from the ISS. And
What live
I
pictures?
really enjoyed your interview with Dr. John.
Yeah.
Thanks for speaking to me here on
How could they be live? We've seen them 100 times.
It's a pleasure, and our salute is to NASA for doing this, and not just
Look
providing
at, we
us
can
with
move
tonight,
food and make it float.
continual
Watch me throw this microphone into the air and catch it with my other hand.
human societies, and someday perhaps go to Mars. You know, they're doing all the work, and these brave people are manning the space station at all times. So, you know, our covering it is the least we can do. You know,
Yeah, we still have our 152 people watching live right now.
Is it really? I thought it'd be 20.
Unbelievable. You know, it's fun. What can I say? You know,
It's my dream volunteer job. You know, do like mystery science theater. Talk about shows we watch.
At the autumnal equinox, and I'll basically attempt to understand the importance of the sun and its movements and its sort of cultural impact, I guess, on us humans. So we're going to have almost a full day, actually, of broadcasting
Oh, boy.
live sun images.
That live feed looks so fake right now.
Of the month. It comes on the 27th of September.
Oh,
bigger.
yeah,
It looks extra fake.
That's a Sunday, and this is where there's going to be an
how's the other camera looking?
lunar
Still
eclipse.
gray.
We're going to be using our feed partners around the world to try and bring you live.
I mean, look at the Earth in the top left
The
corner.
moon
It's just,
slips into the Earth's shadow and goes to a beautiful, classic, coppery red colour. So lots coming up on SLU for you.
oh, they just cut it off. They must have heard me.
Some of the interviews earlier. I know that we have an extended version of the Katie Coleman interview from earlier in the show in our clubhouse. So if you enjoyed that interview,
Is it, that's live? That's what they're saying, that this is live? I thought this was...
What, do they have a special feed or something? Or
Tell me this is not what they considered live this whole time.
But from me and Bob here at SLU, as we
Well, that's that same
loop.
Yeah, that's the same one that they had from earlier.
Thanks for joining. That's it. They're done. Unbelievable. What a crock of shit.
Yeah, and look, this is live, and yet somehow we're missing all the solar arrays.
Oh, boy. Are you kidding me? That was it?
That's beyond pathetic.
So basically, they had live talking heads about all the recorded video.
And then they called it live at the end. Well, this has been really fun watching all this live video.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
At least we're live.
I feel gypped.
Yes. Yes,
I feel really bad for even bringing that up.
Well, we stayed up till...
It just as it went off the air, said ISS 2010. April 24th.
Yep, still, yeah, 5-year-old live stuff.
Are you kidding me?
Now it says DVR, no longer says live.
Yep. Pathetic.
Wow. That is really bad.
Yep.
Oh, Globe Earthers, please tell me how wrong I am and how much of a buffoon I am and how much I need to go back 1,000 years and tell me all those things. It'd be so easy I mean, that's what I say when I say the truth is self-evident, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The truth doesn't need explaining, it doesn't need friends, it doesn't need help, it doesn't need mathematical proof, it doesn't need financial support.
Or 5-year-old amateur photography.
Yeah, the truth, and then he even said in that, he takes this and he works with the image and he creates it's like, that's the truth? We're supposed to buy into this. Unbelievable. Let's go back over there. It's crazy. It's maddening that it's still 5% of people that would even give a thought to the fact that this is fake. Thank you, Craig, who said space is looking fake. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Quiet down.
So we got them overrun, and we got the chat overrun pretty much here on the ISS stream.
Just taking it all over.
Oh, well, if we don't get noticed for that, I don't know. They're not paying attention. That's so crazy. I wonder how many people are actually watching that slew feed.
Seriously, 8.
Well, probably. I mean,
maybe 6.
Does it say or anything like that, or we're just kind of guessing, or?
Yeah, it didn't say. I was kind of looking around that page. I didn't see anything. But I mean, you could just tell by the damn tweets that only us 3 or 4 sent tweets. There wasn't one tweet from anybody else.
Yeah, crazy. It hasn't felt like 4 hours at all. Yeah, geez, yeah, it's nice. I think we just set a world record here on our show tonight, Jaron.
We did. I don't think we've gone past 10. Well, let's wrap it up. We'll start with Bob. Final words, and again, we'll go to the vote. You need to tell me, is the ISS and space real or fake?
Well, that's a tough one, but I'm going to have to say that it's probably fake.
This week didn't sway you?
No. After weighing the evidence carefully, and it was a tough decision, but yeah, I'm going to have to go with fake.
All right. TJ, final words, and whether or not you think it's real or fake.
Well, it's definitely fake, and the more I look into the ISS and what they do and look at details, the more I'm convinced that we give them too much credit for technology that they're using, and that the technology they're using is actually not that great. We'll continue to look into it and see what we come up with, but that last show that was supposed to be the live show, both the eclipse and the ISS in the sky, that was very disappointing. But it was fun taking over all the
Next week
feeds.
on Monday, it'll be the day after the eclipse, huh? Yeah.
Is that true?
I think the eclipse is Sunday night.
Oh, you know what? Next week was that next? What is today?
15th.
15th.
Why does my computer say it's the 16th? I don't know.
Because it's just past midnight here in Central Time.
Oh, right, yeah. So
you know what time zone you're in, TJ?
No.
And Matrix, it's got to be really early in the morning there for you, right? About, 7 o'clock?
Yeah, 7 a.m., yeah.
Yep. Wow.
Well, 1 week from right now, it'll be the 23rd.
Yep. Matrix, any final words? And thanks for coming on. I'd love to have you anytime you want. And also, you have to tell me whether you think whether you think space is fake or real.
Cool. Thanks for having me on, and it's been fun. And yeah, fake. Yeah.
Missa, any final words, and whether or not space is real?
I'm gonna have to say it's about 100% really fake.
Really fake.
Really fake. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the 5 for 5 and say it is definitely fake as fudge. So
wait, fudge is real.
Yeah, I like fudge.
You like fudge too?
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's fake as fake can be.
There you go.
Fake as fake tits.
Yeah. Yes.
That was not from a guy.
It cannot get much faker than that. So guys, thanks for joining us again. This has been the GLOBEBUSTERS ISS debauchery, and we're gonna do it again next week. Join us on Monday for GLOBEBUSTERS, where we will be talking about everything flat Earth, and then we'll be back Tuesday again, watching the ISS to see if they can get any realer. But I think if we go one more week and it's still fake, what else can you do? Can't do much else. We'll have to switch what we watch. or something. We'll watch videos together or something. So guys, till next week, remember to take care of each other. Don't lie to each other. And open your minds, because there's truth inside. And we will see you next time. This has been Jeranism. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.